Yo, here we are.
Yo, you are here.
Wait, you're not Dylan again.
I'm not.
You're not Dylan. Shit.
And I'm not the last guest.
This is a second week without Dylan, and you're not Lane from last week.
Pittman?
Lane Pittman was last week. Yeah.
He's probably out with the Weather Channel. Or
He
some
is
shit.
definitely chasing down hurricanes right now. He is going to save Florida.
It's kind of wild he became like such a fucking meme.
It's absolutely, and he's been meme like crazy.
Yeah.
So, who are you? Go ahead, tell us who you are.
Well, I'm just some kid that used to book his band back in the day.
And look at you now.
Yeah. Which, by the way, my name is David. I'm just a local kid around here that Mikey took pity on me.
I found him on the street.
Yeah, and he booked my shitty band that everyone made fun of early 2000s. But I will say, I've said this online before, and I've given you props many times over, and I want to do it on your show just because.
I appreciate whatever props you give me, because I'll take them.
Yeah.
I'll take them.
For those who don't know, I'm sure you already know if you've listened to 40-something episodes of this podcast and know Mikey outside of here, you are very paramount to the not only music scene, but the heavy music scene here in town.
I appreciate that.
You are.
I think it's definitely a community effort.
Yeah, for sure.
Try.
But you are the ringleader.
I definitely do try to
Yeah.
do what I can.
You've been bringing bands for decades, my friend.
I know. God, I'm old.
And
old.
it doesn't go unnoticed by me or those who are enjoying
That
your
that
efforts.
is very much appreciated. But you're more than just some guy, right? You're just more than some kid. You you're a Furnace Fest attender.
I did attend Furnace
You
Fest.
attended Furnace Fest.
I lucked out into also working and eventually owning
a
one of
website
one of the biggest
that
metal
some
websites.
people may have heard
Yeah.
of. Everyone listening probably has heard.
Yeah, lambgoat.com. Yeah.
Lambgoat.com.
That's
That
big
is
news.
wild, dude.
Yeah.
You do the Van Flip podcast, which is obviously Lamb Goats.
Yeah, that's where we started. That's where I started.
So you started doing the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
Van Flip. You went to Lamb Goat and you said, "Hey, you guys need a podcast."
Yeah, I mean, I started listening to podcasts years ago. I mean, if we're going to get into it, I just got to get into it. So I started listening to podcasts years ago.
Okay, so they did have a podcast.
No.
No. Okay.
No, I started listening to just podcasts.
Oh, you started just randomly
Yeah,
listening
yeah.
to podcasts in general.
So
Gotcha.
I've been listening to the Rogan podcast for like a decade.
Got you.
So I know people have their opinions on that, but I've been listening to that podcast for a decade. At some point, and his is actually it became kind of pro, like the video's pro,
Yeah,
and everything's
yeah.
pro.
He started from nothing, and
Right.
it's obviously
So
it's like $1 million production now.
oh yeah, it's fucking way more than that probably. But yeah, they started doing stuff, and and I at that point I still was like, that's so far away from what anything I would do ever,
Right.
because it looked like expensive. There was another podcast I don't know if anyone's familiar with. It's like a borderline. It was like BMX, hip hop, and like maybe DJ podcast. Adam 22 and No Jumper.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This was early
Dylan,
on.
Actually, Dylan, our usual co-host,
Mm-hmm.
he is a fan of that. He's turned me on to that.
Yeah,
He has showed me episodes of that.
I like watched the early days of that podcast, and then that was like, oh, these are just some dudes fucking in the back of their store making
Just like rocking the fuck out.
yeah,
man.
making
We're
a
just doing our
podcast.
damn thing.
So after a couple months of that, I literally told a buddy that I was working with, I was like, bro, we should just do a podcast. And then a year after that, a year of doing just our regular podcast where whatever, just regular guests, local guests, and we would reach out and we'd have like other guests on, like people on TV or murderers. So
Yeah, right.
we've done that. I saw Adam 22 and Lamb Goat just not texting, tweeting each other, and they were like going back and forth because Adam is also a old East Coast hardcore kid.
Yeah, he's in the hardcore.
And I just slid in there and I was like, hey, what's up? Where's the fucking Lamb Goat podcast? If you need help, let me know. And honestly, a couple days later, we're DMing each other and then on the phone for a while. And now I own the whole fucking
That
thing.
is wild, dude.
That's crazy.
That is fucking wild.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I don't tell that to a lot of people. So
Well,
I figure now that I own it, I don't
You're
give a
still
shit.
not telling a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people listening to this.
I'll share. I'll
There's
share
a-
some.
there's a
I'll
couple.
share this.
There's like 3 or 4.
I'll share it. So like another
Cody
4
listens.
people.
What's up, Cody? In the kitchen making cereal. What's up?
He said he was going to be down here.
He did.
But yeah, I mean,
He eats cereal like nobody's business.
so if you ever have a goal in life or a pipe dream, I should say, you can get it.
Listen, what do they say, right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely took a lot of time. There was, I did the podcast for 3 years. And if you want to tie it into Furnace Fest, we can tie it into Furnace Fest. But last year at Furnace Fest, me and the boys, who ended up actually being like, partners with me, we got drunk at this bar, Marty's PM, and I kind of was like bemoaning to them about my what was holding it back and what I didn't like about Lamb Goat at the time, just because
Like some of its content, right?
not content.
No, the content's fine. It's the people on there.
No,
The negative.
no, nothing like that.
No, because that
Nah.
shit drives me nuts.
I know. Yeah,
we've talked about it.
We can talk about it.
Like,
but
this is PMA, right? Like positive mental attitude here. Like that's
no, I'm all
some
about
of
that
those
too.
commenters.
I'm all about it. No, I get it, and we can get into that too. But
Dude,
Yeah.
honestly, I probably wouldn't even care so much if it was at least funny.
see,
But most of them aren't even fucking funny.
but they're all trying to be.
And they're trying to be. Right. They're trying to be and they're not. That's more important.
Like you just said, you miss all the
God.
shots. You miss the shots that you don't make.
Yeah.
Or
These
you miss the
motherfuckers,
shots you don't.
They're
show.
not comedians.
They're not. And but
Anyway.
I had some issues with how it was going with Lamb Goat, because Lamb Goat's not I mean, those who don't know may think it's a huge production, because there are other productions out there that aren't, or outlets that have been around shorter amounts of time. Because Lamb Goat is 99. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah,
it
it's
was
been
like
around for a long
it was a
time.
while. I think at the time it was like Blabbermouth, which is still huge. They're like the biggest
and
one.
There was the PRP.
The PRP.
Nosebleed 17 was out. Shout out to Nosebleed
Rachel.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one. At the
I
time.
haven't heard from her in quite some time.
Oh, she's
but,
doing great. No,
that's
family.
cool.
Shout out to Chris. They're awesome people. Close friends of mine. What up?
I haven't seen Rachel since
I haven't
was, like,
talked to them in a minute,
teenager.
but
Yeah,
they're awesome.
yeah. So I just had some issues with how it was running, because obviously, like, I thought it was like a different way than it actually was. It was only Alex, and Alex is limited to his own bandwidth with whatever's going on in his life. So he has like a plethora of family members that he has to take care of. He has
Right.
like a lot of kids and a family and dogs and baseball practices and all sorts of shit. So like he's got a full-time job. So he's got other things going on, and we're drunk enough, and I'm just like fucking letting it all come out. And Dylan, he was like, why don't you just buy it? And I was like, I don't think you realize, A, how much that would cost, and B, the fucking work that it would take. Like, I don't have the bandwidth for that,
Right.
or the money for that. So,
And here you are now.
yeah,
Look at you.
one thing led, yeah, 9 months later, and it's in our back pocket.
So Alex was just doing shit by himself, like with like a couple of people here and there.
Yeah, I mean, he would have people contributing over the years, and honestly, like now that I see the staff list, I have like the inactive staff list on the website. I all those people work in the industry for the most part.
Yeah,
A lot of those
yeah.
people work in the industry. I don't want to pronounce anyone's names because I'll fucking
Yeah,
butcher the last name, but like Amy from Adam Splitter, she was a
Mhm,
contributor way early on.
Adam Splitter's sick.
Yeah. Jeff Menig,
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah. He
I think it's Mindy.
yeah. I don't know, but again,
Sorry if it's not.
yeah. Sorry, Jeff.
If you're listening, cool. Thanks. Appreciate you listening.
Yeah. They all contributed in some which way, but again, there's like 100 people on that list that those names stick out. So, but yeah, I mean, Alex got into Lamb Goat hit its peak a while ago.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of been dwindling down. A lot of that was like one of the only fucking websites that wasn't mobile friendly.
Right.
So one of the things when I joined, one of the things that I made a point was like, well, we have to make a mobile friendly website because people are going on their phones, and they have to like,
I'm one of those people.
but they have to
1000%.
navigate it.
Yeah.
They have to navigate it via a desktop mode, and it's just like horrible. So it took 2 years for that to come to
Holy
fruition.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So him and his kid kind of coded it and built it. It took a long time. and then last July is when he launched that, and then this July is when we took over. So, yeah.
Wow.
So we're only like 2 months in.
Well, congrats.
I appreciate it, man.
That's a huge shaking, you know.
Yeah,
That's a lot to take on.
and a lot of people don't realize I also, like Nosebleed 17, that time frame, I also had a shitty website back in those days where I was stealing news from like
I remember
the
you-
PRP
yeah, I remember you had
and
a site
Lamb
too.
Goat.
Yeah, I
So
remember
I'm not familiar with Lamb Goat. You know, it's been
Yeah.
a part of my life for a while. And
And there's some people out there that don't like Lamb Goat.
there's like I met a band
And
the
that's
other,
all right,
other
you know.
week that had a fucking
Yeah.
something to say
I
about
think
it.
there's shirts that say Lamb Goat or something.
Yeah, whatever. We can make those too.
That's cool. You know,
It isn't
maybe
for
they'll
everybody.
like them now.
It
you
isn't
know?
for everybody.
But also I think that, and I'd hope that you kind of step in, you know, try to clean up a little bit of those comments that are
Let's
the
talk
real
about
bad
it.
ones.
Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, so yes, certain things will be taken care of. Like, and if people report comments, that's a whole different ballgame too, because there's an option to report a comment. Man, but because I've been going to Lamb Goat for so long, you know what I mean? Like, it's just another part of the website.
Yeah,
It's not
it
like
is,
a
it
negative
is.
or positive. It's just another part of the website.
So are you one of the anonymous posters?
No. Like, all my stuff is, I'm Lurk City on the website, and
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's
There's
I'm
no
all-
question. There's
yeah.
there's no hiding it.
I'm the only guy that was forward facing the entire time that Lamb Goat was an actual, you know, entity or whatever. No one had ever shown their face, so to speak. And when I did the podcast, I was the first one.
Bridge 9 got like that? Didn't the Bridge 9 board get?
Oh
kind of
yeah,
bad
yeah.
too?
And they, I've tried to go to it. I don't go to it all the time, but I've tried to go to it, and sporadically it's either on or off. So I
Oh,
don't
wow.
know.
I haven't looked at the Bridge 9 board.
Yeah, it might have been a year or so since I've done it. But
Yeah.
you know that I don't. I hate saying like the free speech thing because it's not necessarily free speech.
Right. It's a fine line.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a privately owned business, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's kind of free speech based on what? When
I don't know.
privately
Dude.
owned.
Like if people are getting
Like,
if
someone
people are
says
getting
some
doxxed
stupid
and
shit,
shit,
yeah,
and if
yeah.
it's like if it's like overtly if someone's overtly just fucking making stupid comments,
Right.
you know, like
Like-
on multiple threads daily. Yeah, we notice that stuff and we take steps to either
I'm not
like
trying to hear
curb that.
racist or homophobic shit.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
that
that's
again,
trash.
yeah, and some of that, most of that stuff does get reported and taken down. Doxing stuff also, yada yada. I mean, but again, you know, like I said this before, no one's been fucking shit on more, I think, than me in the last fucking like 3 years. Right?
Oh yeah, and everybody's probably pissed off you took over.
Oh yeah. So I mean, they all left. You know, so the message board cleared out, but that's all good. You know what I mean? Like then that opens it up again for
Right.
the next, you know, wave of whatever.
So where was Lamb Goat originally based out of? Was it Indianapolis?
Reading, Pennsylvania, right outside of Reading.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah,
so
so
I was
PA.
in a fucking completely wrong state.
Yeah.
So all right. So it migrated down south.
Oh yeah, we brought it back. We brought it down here.
to Duval. Right?
Yeah. Part
Can
of
we, Can we
that.
celebrate Duval here for a minute?
Yeah. Dude, do all day.
Yeah, you don't have a drink. Yeah, I was gonna. Oh, you got a drink? Okay, cool. Let's toast it. Hang on,
I got a water.
because we're gonna do another let it out.
Duval. Yeah.
Yes, Jacksonville Jaguars again.
Our boys took care of it.
2
this
weeks in a
weekend.
row, and that's exciting. Jets, not so much,
What'd you expect?
you know. But right, you know, hey, I still love them. But
I'm
yeah,
trying
I'm
not
proud
to.
of the Jacks.
Yeah,
Real
I'm
proud of the
trying.
Jacks.
You were mentioning it earlier, and I'm trying not to get caught up. I said it earlier in the season. I was like, I'm not getting fucking caught up in it right now.
As me,
Yeah.
I had to take steps back because
I mean, they're fucking pulling me in, but
I know.
You know what I mean?
I'm like,
I know that
motherfuckers.
like you blink an eye and all of a sudden you're 2-8,
and
that's the Jaguars' life.
listen, I'm really getting sick of my Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays and Wednesdays or whatever being shitty because of the football.
Yeah, it definitely does affect it. Like the other week, I think the Gators lost, the Jaguars lost, and then my baseball team's the Rays, and they lost like multiple days that weekend. And I was like, this sucks, dude.
Yeah, it does, man. It affects your life. So it's like you have to take a step back.
That's
And
why
that's what I did. Had to step back and be like, look, I'm going to casually like football. I'm going to
Yeah.
enjoy it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to take it in.
Yeah.
But I got to be careful. These motherfuckers are still getting paid regardless of the win or lose.
Lose or
right?
lose. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like at some point it didn't seem like Shad was interested in winning. So
No, not at all. And I'm sure they want to win, right? These guys obviously
The
want to win.
team maybe, but I don't know if
However,
he wants to.
When they lose, they forget about it and they move on to the next game, and they still live their lives and they still getting their huge paychecks.
Chad bought the team for like around $800 million. The team's
that's kind of what Lambgoat was worth, right?
Right.
Like right
very
around
close to that. Yeah.
People don't know that.
We got a steal.
don't know that.
We got a steal of a deal. But now it's like one winning season, which was a fucking fluke. It's a fluke. That was a fluke season. That 2017 season is a fucking fluke. We can talk about it, but we all know it's a fluke because it was a flash in the pan, and then we went right back to dog shit before and after. But
so frustrating.
After that, it was 2.3. Like the whole team's worth $2.3 billion. So this man doesn't need to win games to fucking make money. You know what I mean? So I was thinking there was like a disconnect between the front office and the team because obviously the team wants to win.
There is. There's something wrong with the organization itself. Right?
Yeah. Hopefully it's fixing itself. But yeah, we did step away from Furnace for an hour or two to watch the game. Yeah, across the street of the bar.
So how did Furnace go, man?
Furnace is awesome.
Let's talk about it because I know you went. I know you went to that pre-show with Unearthed, Darkest Hour, Evergreen Terrace.
Not Darkest Hour, Shai Hulud.
Shai Hulud. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we had a very busy.
That's sick. Week. I thought it was Darkest Hour. It was great, but Shai Hulud's fucking.
Oh yeah,
legends.
Got some stories about that night too.
Well, dude, this is a spot to talk about.
Yeah, so
put them out there.
No one knows about this stuff. So we had this idea, Lambgoat, to because Evergreen's from here, so obviously, like, we know them. I was talking to Jason and Alex, and I was like, "Hey, after the show, you guys should fucking come to this bar, Marty's PM, where the whole idea came."
The bar, right? That's the bar where it all went down. Yeah.
Yeah. So we decided to pay tribute to Marty's, and plus they serve till 6 o'clock in the morning, so it helps.
I love this place.
You have to be a member. I mean, it was great. They have great food and they have beer until 6 o'clock. It's a membership only kind of situation.
Got you.
So it's $5. It's not a big thing.
No, that's great. That's great.
We still had a valid membership when we rolled back up there because it hadn't been a full year. We had like 3 days left, and so we went to the show. Obviously, the show is the Unearthed Shai Hulud, Evergreen Terrace, and another band I can't remember what it was. But they played at Iron City, and we saw we went to the same venue the year before, but we saw Remembering Never and Norma Jean, Across 5 Aprils.
I know everybody came back talking about that show.
Yeah. Oh, because of Remembering Never.
Yeah, I heard they crushed it.
Of course. And you can watch that on the Lambgoat YouTube. We have the full set on Lambgoat YouTube.
I like that.
And if you want to comment about Steve's bass singing, I'm sorry, just Steve the bassist singing, it's all good. There are already comments there. You can go rip them.
Is it bad singing?
Sorry, Steve. Not necessarily bad, but people have opinions on his voice,
especially on Lambgoat.
Yeah,
whatever, Steve, you rock.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're cool.
I don't think I know Steve.
Yeah. We talk on.
Pete. I like him.
Yeah. So anyway, the show was great. Obviously, that venue's so sick. Iron City is sick.
Everybody raves about it. I haven't been, but
you should definitely go because you're a venue kind of guy. But and you work in
so much going on this weekend.
Oh yeah, you had the night shift thing.
Yeah, we were at night shift. That was fun. I didn't set up a podcast, but I set up as the podcast, but not with the podcast. Right. Unfortunately, just with everything having to change so fast in how I do things with the podcast with Dylan doing merch in Europe, I just didn't have time to set up and prepare.
I get you.
But I went down there, got to see Intoxicated rip it up. I love that band. Cold Steel, ran into a bunch of people and sold some shit. It was.
I definitely wanted to go.
Dude, the vibe was second to none. It was a beautiful day out, dude. Like, what a super rad community. Like, sitting there in my little chair, and I'm like, just like looking out. I'm like seeing all these like metalheads just all over the place. I'm like, this is fucking rad.
Was it more metal?
It was, it was like metal and hardcore, like all mixed up. It was like, it was just such a sick vibe, dude. People, like from out of town, like coming in and looking at everybody's merch and going, oh, cool, man, I fucking love this band. This is cool, sold the Full of Hell shirt to some girl who came up, and she was so stoked to have it. It's
so
actually
strange, man.
It's funny because it was a really cool shirt. Doesn't fit me, whatever. But she's like, how much? She thought I said 50, but I said 15.
Oh,
like
yeah.
15. She gave me $50. I was like, whoa, no, man. 1-5.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is, I appreciate you, and that's fucking rad. But it was cool, man. Like, she was so stoked on that shirt. You know what I mean? Like, it just to, you know, I sold a bunch of doubles of tapes I had. I didn't bring any vinyl with me. I just didn't have time to go through it. But you know, it's cool seeing people excited, seeing a fucking Sabotage tape, going, "Oh shit, I fucking love this."
Yeah.
So you know, Marauder tape. You know, it's just it's
You
cool.
do have you have like
I have a lot of
yeah,
shit.
man.
I know. I have. A
You've
lot
been
of
going
shit.
for a long time.
I have been. I'm old as shit, and I haven't stopped, and I'm a nerd about it.
That's not a bad
You know?
thing.
It's not. You can be addicted to worse shit, and
Yeah, for real.
you know?
But yeah, I wanted to go to the night shift thing, but unfortunately, it was the same fucking weekend as
same
Furnace.
weekend, and then Louder Than Life was that weekend.
Right.
Nine Inch Nails did Ministry and Knights of Reb,
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland, which epic. God, talk about FOMO.
And Bring Me
Holy
the
shit.
Horizon played in Atlanta last night.
Oh, I didn't know that. Who'd they play with?
I
I didn't know that.
don't care.
I don't know.
I'm not a big BTHM fan. Or
I am a
whatever-
huge
whatever.
fan of that one song that was really poppy. Medicine, something
Yeah.
about the medicine.
I mean, I
remember,
got
but
opinions on a
love
lot of bands, and they're one of them. We
Yeah.
don't post about them on Lamb Goat.
it. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, if they're on tour with somebody that we do post about, they won't post that.
right, of course.
To go back to the Furnace Fest thing.
Yeah.
So we did the show, and then we invited all the bands. The show's great, obviously. It's fucking those three bands.
Yeah.
What are you going to expect? Although Craig wasn't there for Evergreen, so it was a little weird.
I heard he wasn't there,
Yeah.
and that's crazy. I don't know if I've seen a show without him, except for
I think they played three
way
shows.
back in the day.
They said 3 shows without Craig, ever.
Wow.
So I got a rare sighting. But, you know, they just went to Europe, and they're about to go to New Zealand and Australia or something.
Yep. They're doing
But,
a Jack State, Burned Alive by Time in full.
Oh,
and then,
yes.
They're going to New Zealand after that.
November 20th, 4th, something like that. So November.
Yeah.
Burned Alive by Time, playing in full. But yeah, they all came, and you know, it's like we had a Facebook event where we were like alluding that we would have special guests come through.
Right.
And I didn't want to say like who the special guests were, because like, you know, you're just talking to these dudes fucking on Instagram or fucking Twitter, and then they're like, yeah, I'll come through, and they never show up.
That doesn't mean that they're going to be there.
Right. All of them showed up. Like
That's sick.
all the bands showed up. Matt Fox fucking hanging
he's the
out.
best,
He's
dude.
hanging out at the bar, just being
Matt
sober.
Fox is the best, dude.
He
He is a metal nerd, dude.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
He's
He
a cool
is-
dude.
Dude, he is deep.
we got him on the podcast a year ago or so. You know, we just bullshitting, and then you know, it's so weird how that kind of just opens you up to just communication with people, because you have like these longer conversations with
Right.
with somebody, and usually it's more in depth than a casual fucking interview. So, you know, I was talking to Matt, and of course, like I'm not sober at the fucking event, like I'm fucking on one.
No,
And-
you're like, man, I'm going to 6 a.m.
yeah. So,
Get my $5 worth.
I'm just talking to Matt. I was like, Matt, dude, I think it's so fucking cool you showed up. And he was like, you know, my friend was over there. He just had a big smile on his face. And I was like, what are you smiling about? And he was like, man, I haven't seen you in a bar in like forever. And I was
That's
like,
great.
that alone made my weekend. So, yeah, you know, we bought a couple beers for whomever was drinking. Not everyone was drinking, obviously, but they
Right.
all hung out. And yeah, it was just kind of like a weird, you know, you grow up listening to Unearth on Eulogy in like the early 2000s, and all of a sudden you're fucking hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out with them. Yeah.
And the Evergreen Boys it's the same thing with them, but you know,
They're
I've
just
seen them a million fucking times. Actually, I was running into Alex and Alex and Jason so fucking much at the fucking festival.
it.
I was like, at some point, you're just like, "What's up?" And you just keep it moving because you're
like-
just bumping into him all the time.
I've already seen you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've already seen you.
But yeah, Furnace Fest after that was pretty cool. I mean, we did a lot of shit. Just running around all day long, covering all the stages. There's 3 of us, you know.
All
Covering
right, so
stages.
if you had to say one set that you saw that topped them all,
Poison Well.
Poison Well. All right.
And that's not saying that they were the best band there, but like for me.
For you, right. Yeah. You
And that's
personally.
a toss up because Misery Signals also played. And I haven't seen Misery Signals since probably 04 or early aughts.
I'm wondering who I would have really been hyped to see there. I have to
E-Town.
look back at. Yeah, E-Town's cool. You know, they're not. I'm not an E-Town junkie, but I do like E-Town.
My thing with
I
them
would
is like,
enjoyed
why
watching.
does Limp Bizkit get shit on, right? But then E-Town is
E-Town's
basically like
Well, because
something like that.
E-Town's a lot harder.
Maybe.
They're a
Maybe
lot
it's
harder
because
than Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not,
Hey,
but,
but-
they are a rap rock band
Listen,
for the most part.
Oh, absolutely they are. But look, I'm not a Limp Bizkit hater at all. The
I'm not
latest
saying you are.
album is the shit.
You like the latest
I
one?
love
Still
it.
sucks?
I love it. I love
It's
it.
definitely Limp Bizkit.
So and I was talking to this the other night with somebody, and I don't remember who, but I feel like if that would have been the follow up to Chocolate Starfish, they might have wouldn't have had that little dip.
I'm trying to think.
But-
Was it fucking West left
West did leave.
and Eat You Alive, or what the fuck is that?
It was Gold Cobra.
No. The green one, Results May Vary, was
Results
after
May
that,
Vary, yeah.
and they had a separate guitar player, which isn't a bad album. Gold
Yeah,
Cobra is not a bad.
Results
Is not a
had
good one.
Gold Cobra was hard to listen to.
Yeah, because he
I
got
think-
signed
I
to
don't
Cash
thi-
Money.
I don't think I listened to the whole thing. I don't
No.
think I got through it. Maybe it's good. I don't know.
That
But
is a
Still Sucks is rad. I like that album.
Yeah.
I love the first album. You know.
Of course.
Um,
I argue with our chief editor, our editor in chief, all the time about it. I was like, I go, you can hate all the other ones, all the other albums. I'll let you hate the other ones because it's a gimmick. You know what I mean? But that first one's a real fucking banger.
first one's real, dude.
There's a reason
That's
why they fucking
fire,
surpassed
dude.
Korn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, they did, dude. They
Quickly.
hit it. And then here's the thing: you see their sets at like Lollapalooza when I'm like, man, come on now.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think something's going on with Fred.
Maybe.
I think it might be a little more than what he's leading on to, which is a bummer.
Maybe. Hope not.
Yep.
But maybe.
Same.
But he's talented, you know, whether people want to think that or not, you know. Maybe they haven't made the best moves all the time. Who knows? You know, I'm not here to judge.
It's new metal, dude. Who knew what they were going on?
That's, yeah.
Who knew what to do?
Everybody's just kind of making it up as they go
Yeah.
at that point.
Fucking new metal's fun.
I love it. I'm a fan of it. We were
Yeah.
talking about it earlier. Look, man.
I was a new metal kid before, and you were in a new metal band at one point.
Yeah.
That's where I originally met you. Order by
Static X,
Chaos.
dude. Like Static
Oh,
X
yeah.
was fucking. I love that band, and they're pretty new metal, you know.
Yeah. Would you?
Dude,
It's
Rob
also-
Zombie's coming out with that. Speaking of new metal, he's coming out with that Monsters movie. I'm stoked to see it.
Yeah.
Or personally, I'm down. I'm excited about it.
We'll see. His movies aren't bad, but this one's
Some of 'em I don't like.
going to be different.
But I appreciate him. You know, I appreciate that Rob Zombie was able to do that for a living and be in a band that's
Direct.
successful. You know,
Yeah.
Just
Well, shit. When
I
you
think
start
that's-
making a couple dollars here or there, you get a little more free
and
time.
he keeps on doing it. You
Yeah.
know, it's killer. It's
That's-
killer. I'm excited about the Monsters coming out. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you watch it as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the shit out of that show.
Yeah, I didn't.
I watched it as
ever-
an adult. I still watch it.
the black and white one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
love
watch
it. I love it. That and Addams Family. Yeah.
I maybe watched the Addams Family because I did watch the movies in the
Yeah. and
90s.
the movies were great.
MC
and-
Hammer.
You know, it was wild. Like thinking about it, like I'll watch the shows now, and I'm like, man, it's really strange that these shows were like household shows, and they had the message back then.
Because it's dark.
It is dark, but
Yeah.
it's dark, but it's so not. It's
Yeah.
still so positive, and it's kind of like going, you know, like, hey, fuck you, be more accepting as individuals
Mm-hmm.
or with individuals, and so that message was there.
But the jokes
Back in
and
the day.
and
You know?
everything. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a fan of it. I'm interested in seeing what his take on it is. From what I understand, he's kind of keeping it traditional too, and keeping it like a family,
Mm-hmm.
you know, thing. So that's cool. I'm excited. But yeah, new metal. I love new metal, dude. I'm all about it.
I do
It's
not
still
hate
going.
it.
It's still
I
going.
love, and we can
I
segue
love
into.
all new metal bands.
No one's saying that we all love them because there's a lot I don't like.
There are a lot of bad ones.
There's a lot of bad new metal bands. Yeah,
There are a lot of bad.
there's probably more bad new metal bands than bad metal and hardcore bands.
Fact.
But yeah,
Absolute fact.
there's only a real like the crust of the new metal is good. But a lot of that is so strange. Because we're like I'm almost 40 right now, so like I'm 39. I just turned 39 this weekend or last weekend. But I grew up listening to that, and then it fell off. New metal fell off hard,
Hard, dude.
like dropped
It
off
was
the face
like-
of the earth.
It was like shunned.
Yeah, it
Shunned.
instantly became like the lamest thing of all time.
Yeah.
And then I'm left just like, what the fuck? I got all these Jinkos and fucking cool studded armbands. What am I supposed to do with that shit? But eventually I found hardcore through Roadrunner Records. Oddly enough, Glassjaw and Hatebreed.
yeah.
Hatebreed wasn't on Roadrunner,
Right,
but
right. They
heavy
they were the
bands.
kings of it, you know.
And
They were the face.
that I fucking fell down a rabbit hole there. But now to see 20 something years later, younger bands that are coming out that are fucking totally influenced by new metal.
It's
And they're hardcore
bands. It's funny because there's hardcore bands that are new metal bands now.
Yeah, it's great.
It's wild.
I said Knock Loose on my podcast on the Van Flip. I said it like years ago. I was like, Knock Loose is like sort of a new metal hardcore band, and people were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Dude, They're
feel
a great
that.
they're a great heavy band. That's not a knock.
All right.
But they definitely are influenced by like
1,000%.
Slipknot and some other heavy ass shit.
Absolutely,
So,
dude.
yeah. And again,
Dude,
it's good.
Deftones, and you know, I know they don't like the term whatever, but fuck ever, dude. It is what it is, right? Like, it's not a dirty word. New metal's not dirty, right? Like some of it sucks, right? I get it.
Yeah.
But overall, come on, man. Like Korn, dude, Korn fucking rules, right? Like Korn fucking.
I don't know about that, but
They came out, dude, and they fucking changed shit completely.
they
turned shit
early
upside
Korn.
down.
Early Korn is
On
like
its head.
game changer.
And I, dude, I love like the latest album. I love, dude. I love it.
I think
And
the line.
and live, dude.
I've never seen them.
You've never seen them? Oh
Never
my
seen
god,
them. I was
dude.
supposed to see them last year, but it got rained out.
I've seen those motherfuckers like a gazillion times.
Yeah, but again, new metal became super lame,
It did,
and I
right.
just turned away from Korn.
I feel
I
that.
couldn't turn away from Limp Bizkit, being from Jacksonville, and I spent a
Jacksonville,
lot
yeah.
of time with those albums. But Korn, I think, was good until about Issues,
So
and then they had a weird,
Issues wasn't my favorite from them. I wasn't like diehard in those middle years. They definitely had that one weird remix album that I
Some of that
didn't like at
dubstep
all.
album with Skrillex.
That was not good. I didn't like that at all. But man, like some of their like Paradigm, I think is the name of it. Like that album fucking rips, dude. And then live, dude, they're fucking second to none, dude. They're a top tier band, dude.
Again, never seen
They
them.
are
I would love.
top fucking tier
They're
band.
on the list, and again, they're one of those bands I think that were like great in the early on. They definitely got surpassed by Limp Bizkit, and that's not their fault or anything like that. I mean, they helped Limp Bizkit, but like you go out one year on the Family Values tour, and you're the top tier band, and then the exact same the next year you're the second tier band to Limp Bizkit.
I think Korn was able to stay steady longer than Limp Bizkit.
For sure.
Bizkit's, like
They did a lot- well, they
peaks
were-
and
yeah, yeah,
valleys
yeah.
more than Korn had.
They did a lot more. Korn did a lot more musically too,
Yeah, they did.
which could be to their detriment sometimes, like the Skrillex album.
They've done a lot. They've done a lot.
And sometimes, a couple years ago, I started thinking like, well, they're just like, you live long enough to be the villain, your own villain or something like
Yeah.
that. And I felt like they kind of did that because they tried so damn much. And, every other year they'd have a new album.
They didn't stop, man.
No, they
didn't
were
stop.
cranking
They
them
kept it
out.
going. But they also they're another band. I say this a lot on the podcast where bands are owed royalties, like Evergreen Terrace. There's a lot of bands that owe them royalties, whether they know they do or not. I think Korn's definitely
Oh, they have
blatantly-
a lot of stock.
blatant ripoffs.
Yeah,
like
of
they.
course.
I mean, they literally had a whole. I mean, new metal was them.
Yeah.
right. Like they started that shit.
Yeah.
There was other people that would kind of like it, but they were like the ones who like put
You
a
know-
stamp on it.
Punk rock Finn.
Yeah.
Punk rock, yeah. He was knocking on them for using the bagpipe.
Uh huh.
And how it was like, but I'm thinking like, dude, that made them stand out so fucking much.
So it's funny because I don't like the bagpipes,
But you
but
remember that
I
shit.
get it.
Yeah.
But I was never a fan of the bagpipes. However, I always knew when they were fucking going to play them, shit was going hard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, man, this dude's coming out with fucking bagpipes and a skirt, and shit is going to go off.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I get not liking them, but whatever, man, it's working.
Yeah.
They're doing their shit.
20 years
and I'm
later,
not
they're
mad
still
at them,
they're
you
still
know?
doing it. Yeah.
Like they do it
30 years
tastefully.
later.
They don't overdo it. You know what I mean? Like they don't. It was like what, one song that has them? Maybe,
Yeah.
you
It's
know?
not like they're a
It's
ska
not like
band
there's
with a
whole-
bagpipe
Yeah, it's not
all
like
time.
there's a whole fucking player or something.
Yeah.
So I get it. I back it. Again, it's not my favorite thing, but you don't have to like everything to appreciate it.
Yeah. It's just for like contrast on certain.
Yeah. Right. It's just
So
You
Finn,
know-
you got that one wrong, buddy.
I feel he's got a few wrong here and there.
I'm
I've listened to some of his stuff, and I'm kind of like, I'm not with this at all right now. But I haven't gotten down the rabbit hole.
He's very
Just-
opinionated, but I mean,
So, yeah.
when you're in that lane, like
Yeah.
that's all he's doing is opinions. So
And, right, and hey, everybody has opinion, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
A little bit more. I like to stay a little bit more positive about shit. If I don't like stuff,
I
I'm not
get
going to
that.
really get into it.
I get that, and I get this is coming from Lamb Goat guy.
It's a lame
but
go, yeah. Here we
I
go.
feel like we gotta be like, I think Lamb Goat's got to be no fluff, and like that's why we don't do editorial articles really or like opinionated articles. Most of the time, it's just like, here's the fucking news, dude.
yeah,
and it's basically
and
that.
I'm with it. Look, this is the news. This is the news.
But if like we're doing reviews and shit like that, like I told we hired some new people recently, and I'm like, if the album fucking sucks, say it sucks. Like we aren't out here to please like labels. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. Like if you don't like it, then definitely you don't have to like it.
It does
However,
suck to put that out.
it would kind of, to me though, like me, I don't want to waste my time writing. If I don't like something, be like, I'm not going to write about this because I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I'm going to write about something that I want to spend my time on, that I like, that I think other people will like. So, like, it's kind of like, why would I want to bring more negativity in the world if it's something I'm not into, but someone else is? That's cool. Respect for them for that. Unless it's some crazy fucking horrible shit, you know, like that's you know, just trying to go against humanity or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's a different story. But, like, you know, like, not everybody's going to like every movie. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean that other people don't. And I don't want to, like, get down on someone else for liking it. If they like it, that's cool. It's all on them. I don't want to ruin it because they see something that I don't.
Right.
And that's okay. Because I'm the same way. Like, I love pop music, dude. I get shit all the time. I get shit all the time about it, dude. Like,
I mean, you know me, I DJ and all. I like all sorts of shit.
Love
so
all of
I'm
it.
all
You
over.
love all of it. Yeah.
But like to bring it back to Lamb Goat again for the millionth time, probably. But I don't see it as like shitting on something like that, like you see it, because Lamb Goat's been around so long. I feel like there's a duty to be like this database for like history, regardless of if it's good or bad. You know,
I can agree with that.
So like that's how I approached it, and like I'm not. Of course, I don't want to go out here and be like, your fucking albums are 3, dude, and this is a pile of shit, because you know that does affect things going forward for maybe that band or that label or whatever. But I mean, like, we're not going to sugarcoat it either.
No, and nor should you. Should you. You should never sugarcoat.
There's got to be a bad guy on the block. Everyone's fucking catering to everybody,
and it's not necessarily a bad guy. I don't think. Just you know, it's okay to be truthful and honest. I do believe in that. Me personally, I'm gonna try to focus on more shit that I'm into than shit that I'm not into.
Yeah, but if someone you're into just lays an egg, like a Korn album or something like that, and you're like,
just probably not going to talk about it. I'm like, all right, that wasn't my thing.
No,
I'm going to move it on. I'm going to talk about this other album that came out instead.
But I mean, like, I look at like Lamb Goat as a database for news, for tour dates, for all that shit.
It's reviews and. Yeah, and it's gonna be stuff that you don't like on there. I get that.
It's 23 years old. If it goes another 23 years, that's a fuckload of
That's a lot. That's
data.
killer. 23 years is wild. That's so wild.
Yeah, and I'm here to just wreck that shit.
No, dude. 30 more years. 33 more years.
Well, I mean, we talked about this weekend, and that would be the idea. Just to keep it going as long as possible.
There's a lot to do.
Yeah,
there's a lot that could be done. There's a lot of stuff that you and I talked about.
There's a lot of stuff, bro. You gotta get on it.
Good stuff.
One day.
One day. Dude, I'm here, bro.
We're waiting on you.
Listen, I'm ready to go.
We're waiting on you.
I'm ready to go.
You heard me, the other guy that might be listening to this that we've talked to.
Yeah.
I mean, especially after this weekend.
I'm nonstop, dude.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm not ready to.
No, I feel like if I were to bring anybody into the fold, any other person, for whatever reason, obviously we talked about bringing this podcast into like a network situation with us or something.
Yeah.
And I, keep putting you on. I don't know, staff, but like as a contributor or whatever, of fucking just because you're way more knowledgeable about a lot of more shit than I am, you know.
I mean, we probably have our balances.
I have a little niche. You're fucking in it.
You're definitely more of a metalcore fan.
Yeah,
and into that than I am.
Yeah.
Now I do obviously have my bands that I do like and I do appreciate, where I don't love them as much as you do. Like going to Furnace Fest. Like that wouldn't be on top of my list. Where for you, that's your thing. You know, like that's
it's a thing because it's like it's nostalgic. And then you also are there with a bunch of other fucking 30, 40, 50-year-old dudes that are coming out of retirement.
Yeah. And that's their world.
Right.
Right. For me, it's which is funny because it definitely is part of my world, especially with I probably booked almost every band on Furnace Fest at some point in time or the other. I'm probably a little bit more into death metal, probably more into thrash and hardcore, like the more straight down the line hardcore,
beat down.
More like Madball, Agnostic Front. But those bands played also. Sick of It All played. Like those are bands I love. Biohazard's one of my favorites. Underdog, bands like that.
Did you go see the Biohazard dudes in Orlando?
I did. We went, dude. So Rhythm of Fear played that show.
Oh, okay.
It was Josta.
Yeah, it was the Josta show.
And Bobby Hamill, guitarist, man, he fucking ripped it up. I think I might have talked about this last week. I don't remember. But
I know you
posted
about it.
I should.
Yeah, I think you posted about it for sure. So that's why I know.
I felt like a little kid, man. He got on stage and he just started doing his thing, and I was like, I went back into a zone like when I was like.
So now
16.
you know what's Furnace. That's how Furnace Fest is.
I was like, yeah, it's exactly right. So like that, that kind of like Biohazard is like top tier for me, right? Like bands like that.
No wonder you like fucking rap rock, dog.
Yeah, right. They were like OGs of that shit, dude.
It's crazy though, going back to that rap rock shit with early hardcore, because it's so ingrained. You know
1,000%.
And then like new metal gets shit on for so fucking long.
Here's the thing, right? Like Limp Bizkit were Biohazard fans.
Yeah.
Right? Like they got that shit from Biohazard.
Yeah.
From Rage Against the Machine, who stemmed from hardcore. You know,
Right.
like so.
Get it together, people.
Yeah, like it's kind of like it's not a new thing. You know, Downset was doing that shit. You know. Like,
It's definitely a in you thing for sure.
I've always appreciated a little bit of hip hop in my metal.
I like hip hop.
I don't mind that.
I mean, bro, I grew up down here in the dirty
that.
South, so like I definitely am.
Dirty South's got some good hip hop, dude.
Right.
Atlanta shit, bro.
All
Organized
that.
Noise.
I mean, I grew up with like the Master P, Master P stuff, Cash Money stuff. Some of that stuff is really cringy to listen to now, but it was bumping back in the day.
A little bit, but they got ride outs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those artists have a track or two that just ride out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cool. You could appreciate it.
Yeah,
and it does
and a lot of collabs.
nostalgic.
They do a lot of collabs.
Everyone collabs with each other. It's
great.
So it's cool to hear that. The dynamic.
I'm still big into rap. That's
But,
big.
oh,
for me.
dude, like Wu-Tang shit, dude.
Yeah.
Throwing some Tupac in it, But some of the new cats are good too. J.
I
Cole,
fucking listen to. I don't. He's not a new cat to me, but he's a goat to me. He's on the top. If I had a Rushmore, he's
J.
on
Cole's
there.
on there.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh wow! All right.
Rushmore. My Rushmore is.
He's a younger cat to me. So
Kendrick,
Kendrick's great.
J. Cole.
J. Cole's great.
Oh, I'm blanking here.
I
That's my Rushmore. Those two.
I'm going with fucking like some of the Outcast dudes, right? Like I have to go with them because I can't leave them off.
I don't.
Somebody Goody Mob. I mean, I just
Yeah, I mean all that
And then
stuff
some
is
of the-
good, but there's just like every album, those guys
Dude,
that I've said,
Method Man.
I fucking
Man,
love Method Man.
like all that shit, dude.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I love it.
See Red Man fucking skydiving,
Yeah.
solo skydiving.
Yes,
It's wild.
it's so wild.
It's so wild.
It's so good.
I opened up my Instagram or fucking Facebook that day, and I was like, "What is going
Like,
on?"
what is he doing?
Yeah.
You can never tell, dude. Remember his Cribs episode?
Great. I still think it was fake, but it was fucking
Hey,
great.
I think it was too. I think it was staged, but it was fucking.
If it's
funny as
not,
fuck.
you know what? It probably wasn't, to be honest with you, because there's no money in music really. So
Either way, it's fucking hilarious, right?
yeah,
Like, but you know what's crazy though is that in Baltimore that Flat Spot Records,
mm-hmm.
what was it called? Disturbing the Peace.
Oh
Not Ludacris, obviously. Ludacris is great too.
yeah,
but,
THA.
Disturbing the Peace, dude. It's who's on that? I have the thing here somewhere. Oh, it's Trapped Under Ice. End It, who's fucking on fire right now
Mm-hmm.
from Baltimore. No Warning, Scowl, Love Scowl, Never Ending Games, Zulu, Buggin'. Oh, dude, fucking Jive Bomb's on there. Hold My Own. Hold My Own's coming down here too, actually.
Nice.
They're coming to Jackson. I'm pretty stoked about that. Yeah, man, that's such a sick lineup, dude.
How do you think Scowl got in with Limp Bizkit?
From what I understand, talking to the Scowl folks, they're great. They came through Jacksonville shortly after that, and I did discuss with them. When I advanced the show with them, I did say that part of the run of the day of show, because when you advance with bands, you go over load in time, sound check, yada yada, and I put
Discuss Limp Bizkit tour.
I put a time, and I said like 5 p.m. Talk about how and why and what for the Olympus. I was like, you're in Duval. You have to talk to us about it. It's your first time here, right after the tour. We got to talk about it. But we did talk about it, and they
Strange lineup. That tour was a strange lineup.
absolutely, and it was killer, dude. Dying Wish was on some of the shows.
It was the Spirit Box one, right?
Spirit Box was also, yeah. Just a diverse lineup because
Yeah.
it was that rapper Kid Snot,
Oh my god,
Young
he pissed
Gravy.
he pissed so many people off with that name.
Yeah, he did. Speaking of new metal,
Yeah,
got a lot of people upset.
you got a lot of people.
I don't think that kid knows
he didn't.
nor cares.
Yeah, no, I mean as he should. But
And I'm like, come on, dude. Who the fuck cares, really?
it's all these 50-year-old dudes.
Like,
getting
and I
all
love
hopping
Snot,
on.
dude.
Yeah.
I love there's CD in there backwards.
I saw a straight up one over
yeah,
there.
straight ups in here. Love it, right? But come on, let it go. It's not that big of a deal.
That shit wasn't.
But I also
popping in
think
the last 20
I
something
think
years.
one of the people who had something to say about it was kind of the same person who had something to say about the Furnace Fest logo, looking like Fear Factory.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on,
it is what it is, dude.
come on, dude.
Dino, come on, bro.
It's all right, dude.
I
It's
know-
all good.
I
man.
know the fan base maybe dwindling, and people come and go, and you lose like big members.
Dude,
but
and Dino was at that Josta thing too and killed it. I'm like,
he's like,
hey, you're all
he
right.
does
dude.
his thing.
He's all right. You're
Yeah.
all right, man. Nobody's gonna be confused
chill.
about Furnace Fest versus Fear
Just
Factory.
chill, dude. And not only that, it's the event's in 2 weeks, so you fucking missed
Right,
the window.
yeah. It's also like right around the corner, and it's gonna change next year, because they change it up.
Oh yeah.
But look, what's gonna hurt? Someone's gonna go to Furnace Fest thinking Fear Factory's playing. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And if it does, all right, they're not. So they get into some other bands, or they go to Fear Factory to think Furnace Fest is happening.
Who's going to pay $200
That's
to
not
go see
gonna
Fear Factory 3 days in a row?
It's not gonna happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, I love Fear Factory. I'm excited about the new lineup. They have like a new singer that they're going to announce in February, and I'm excited about
That's
that.
weird, too.
But come
They
on,
have a
dude.
timeline for
Come on.
announcing that.
It's all right. It's all right.
Um,
But I get it. It's a little bit of a different lifestyle, but
to piss Dino off a little bit more, we'll talk a little bit more about Furnace Fest. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I'm not going to try to, I don't want to badmouth anything, but it wasn't the same.
as the first one,
Yeah, a lot of things like internally though, it wasn't the same. The vibe totally the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Sloss Furnace area.
yeah,
I mean, like the first time I went last year, that was the first time I'd ever been there. I didn't go to like the 2000, 2001, 2002, 2000.
right,
whatever,
the first
ones.
right when they first came around, right.
But I definitely, because I was in high school, but I definitely fucking would watch those DVDs.
Yeah.
And so when you're standing on this sound pretentious, but when you're standing on the stage and shit, and you're just looking at the crowd and stuff, you're like, I fucking watched this thing for 20 something years, man, and I'm here,
And you're like, damn.
and there's way more people than there have ever been for any Furnace Fest.
I mean, shouldn't Andrew WK just play every year?
yeah, I think he was supposed to do the first year, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I just think he should be a staple.
I mean,
That should be like a known thing. Andrew WK is going to play here, and he's going to wear all the band shirts and take them off after each song.
He is definitely a reason why I remember Furnace Fest in general. That set on that DVD is fucking iconic.
So great, dude.
I think it's an iconic thing for the festival and for Andrew.
It was a
huge.
win-win for both of them.
Yeah.
Because I remember it. Andrew WK is great, dude. And I appreciate it when I'm like, yo, this motherfucker's wearing
To
all
me,
these
is
band
as
shirts.
and he was, but he also was accepted musically
Yes.
there, which was strange.
Very.
Because I'd seen him on
Very.
on Ozfest,
Yep.
for a couple years. But
So funny story. Saw him on Ozfest, and people I know that were working with him that were tour managing, they were like, "Hey man, you like Obituary? This is in Tampa." I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking love Obituary. It's like one of my favorite."
well, their
bands.
drummer is playing the piano band.
Well, so it's funny because what he's like, "Hey, they're gonna do a set today." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! They're broken up." This is when they were broken up.
Mhm.
It's like, "There's no way." He's like, "No, dude." He's like, "They're playing the side stage of Ozfest. Andrew WK is cutting his set short, so Obituary could play 4 songs."
What date was
And-
this?
God, man, that was
Florida date?
it was Tampa, which makes sense.
01.
Probably 2001. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
was
sounds
there.
about right, dude. I was like, "You got to be shitting me." He's like, "No, dude, I wouldn't kid about that."
I think
I
I
was like-
remember that. I think they were all wearing Hawaiian shirts.
They were
and
all
shit.
wearing Hawaiian shirts, yep. And
Yeah.
then I guess some of the guys played in Obituary at some point, which now a lot of those dudes that play with Andrew WK are in that band Intoxicated, also from Tampa, that's doing their thing right now, and they played Night Shift.
Is that
Great.
the same? No, it's Heaven's Gate. I was thinking of
Heaven Gate's great too. They played. I didn't catch the second day show, unfortunately, but Heaven's Gate definitely played, and I wanted to stay and see them. But they are opening for Cavalier Conspiracy and Bewitcher in Tampa, and I'll probably be there for that date, I'd imagine. Hopefully.
Love baseball, like we already discussed, or
Yep.
I mentioned earlier. I went down, funny Heaven Gate story / municipal waste story. I went down to Tampa by myself. I drove 3.5 hours on a Monday
That's
to
sick.
go to a game. I had Florida Frank of Hate, Breed, Integrity, and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
long
Oh,
list of other bands.
He was at the Josta show too.
Yes.
Yeah, he's great.
Well, he lives down the street.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely does.
I didn't know that, but I had him on the podcast, and he told me that he lives in Florida and he's a Rays fan. And I was like, "Oh, that's fucking cool. Me too." And he's
Gator
like,
fan. Huge Gator
Yes,
fan.
huge
too.
Gator fan. And he goes, "We should go to a game." And I was like, "I fucking love that.
Okay.
That never actually would have come to fruition, right?" So I'm at this game, and I'm sitting in like the second level. I look down right below me, and there's a fucker in a jersey that says Florida Frank, and he's all tatted up. And I'm like, "What the fuck are the odds?" Because then like I just saw fucking Hatebreed on tour, like the week before, right?
Yep.
So I was like, "Are they on tour still?" And they weren't. And I was like, I'm gonna go down there and see if it's fucking.
That was
him.
at the Anthrax Black Label.
Yeah, the 40th anniversary. And yeah, long story short, it's fucking Frank and fuck is it Tony from Municipal Waste.
Yeah, that's killer.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I just I hung out with him for most of the game, just talking shit, talking about the Gators, and he's like, you got to come over, Frank. It's like, you got to come over to the man cave. I got the Kiss man cave. He's showing me pictures and shit. He's a big fan.
I love it.
He's got like all these TVs. He's watching football and stuff. And I'm like, dude, you invite me anytime, I'll come down there.
Let's do it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to invite myself. We're going to do this next weekend.
It's going to be a recurring thing for Lamb Goat.
That's great, dude.
We'll just watch football.
Like a weekly Lamb Goat with Florida Frank.
Yeah, Frank Novinikic.
I love it.
I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, I don't know how you say it. We just call him Florida
Frank.
I love that.
Maylene. Speaking of Florida, I just want to bring up the Maylene thing.
Oh yeah, this is funny because Lane went to the Maylene shirt show.
The first show back.
Yeah, in Tampa. He was wearing a Maylene shirt on the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and he went into him. And I know you have some Maylene stories.
Yeah. Oh, you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, about 3 weeks before the Furnace Fest, I had Dallas on the podcast like a year and a half ago.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And I think I could be completely wrong, but I looked and looked and looked. I think it's his first interview back.
Wow,
since the accident.
That's wild.
And obviously, like, our podcast is very long. It's usually like 90 minutes plus or something like that.
Oh wow.
And it's not really based on music. It's just about the
Yeah,
about the guest.
Right.
We would talk about music and the bands and stuff, but people, I feel like they want to connect with an artist on a more personal basis and humanize
I agree
someone.
with that.
So, I kind of had this like weird rapport with fucking Dallas because he is a Florida kid. And I don't know if he's originally born there, but he lives in Florida. He's lived here a long time. And he
was
for
Under
a long
Oath
time.
original.
Oh, yeah. Under Oath original vocalist. But when they were a totally different band, sound-wise.
Absolutely.
But we started just shooting the shit, and then, that was a cool podcast. And he didn't mention any of that stuff. I even asked him if he was like, are you going to plan on doing music again? Like, what's the deal? And he's like, he beat around the bush so fucking much. And then, so I didn't think anything was going to come of it. But we kept in contact via Instagram, here and there, and just like, hey, man, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I find out that they get announced for Furnace Fest, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Oof. So I hit him up, and he's like, yeah. And then, he tells me about the new stuff. And so a couple months go by, I should say. We take over Lamb Goat, and I'm like, bro, let's I go, what if we like did a segment for Lamb Goat where we like cover Dallas's return, So long story short, that's kind of what happened. We kind of took it upon ourselves for a couple hours to film him on Saturday, just kind of like around.
Yeah.
And then obviously like taking the stage and whatnot. And that set was insane because there were so many people, there were so many people there for that.
I'm sure many people
on stage, off stage.
Yeah.
The bummer part is like the sound was like not working properly, so his vocals didn't even work for like 3 fucking songs.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, it was a bummer. But I'm going to actually go touch base with him this week or next week and interview like some afterthoughts, like just kind of tie it all together type thing.
Get his vibe on how it was back, and definitely be cool to hear his thoughts on the Tampa show as well.
Yeah.
That sold out.
And they did that. They the band themselves, because we were working with them, and I was like, if you can just record some of the actual show, thoughts before and after an interview, so Brad, his other guitar player, kind of took the lead. I would assume the lead on that, but it was cool to see Dallas do his thing, especially in the state that he's in now. He's not the same person, obviously.
Right.
He's
yeah.
So it was really cool to see that. I think it was a big moment for him because the Tampa show was big, obviously, for them to come back.
Oh yeah,
but
of course.
The fucking crowd
and then Furnace Fest
was so stupid,
massive.
Sorry.
No, you good. No, it's good to see so many people
care.
Right.
Yeah.
They give a shit. You know what I mean? Like it's, and I think it's even deeper than just the music. Like people. I sound like whatever, but like the positive metal attitude shit's right. Like it's cool to see people care about other people.
Yeah,
Like,
Well, you find that out. You find that that's pretty prevalent in the
it is
scene.
it is, dude. I don't think things are as bad as sometimes people make them out to be. You know, and then there is a community of like-minded people that support and back each other.
I mean, I'm not always down for the crowd killing, but you know, I get that it has a fucking place.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, I'm kind of old for shit, but you know, look, like I have this thing though. Like you're at a show, there's gonna be moshing or
keep your head on
stage
swivel.
diving.
I get it.
It's gonna be, you know,
I get it,
sometimes
dude.
it is what it is, you know, like, and it's cool, man. It's all right to stand in the back sometimes. It's all right.
I mean, I got crowd killed this year. You were there. Fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
shit happens, you know. I'm kind of like it sucks, dude, because I'm like, it's fucking hardcore.
That
shit.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I know it's a part of the fucking
It's
deal,
a hardcore shit.
but I'm
dude.
like,
it's kind of like,
you know,
it's like, dude, like you're playing basketball and you get fouled.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh, that's bullshit. He fucking fouled. Like, yeah, I know, but it's part of the game.
It is
Even though
part
it's
of the
not
game.
part of the game, it is. You know,
Yeah.
Football, it's like, you know, sometimes you get 30 players, dude. You
No,
know,
I
it
get it.
sucks, but like,
I get it. But if your fans are doing that shit, don't give me a lift about my
just-
fucking comments.
just-
you understand?
you know, just I guess I've been lucky enough to duck.
I feel you. Yeah, that was the tip.
Hey,
you guys
I've gotten
gave me.
dude. I've gotten like, you know, like I've gotten fucking boots to the fucking brain, you know, like when people like stage diving.
Oh
and
yeah,
shit.
I think the last time that
Right, you know,
the last time I maybe caught like a wild whatever was this is gonna date us, but the Jack's Hardcore Fest, like
oh, that was
Club 5 or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that, where it was
yep.
like Beloved, Unbroken Wing, Shattered
Yeah.
Realm, all these in Evergreen. I
Yep.
think someone
Did Hatebreed play that?
no, but
No,
As Lay Dying
Sworn
did.
Enemy. Sworn
Yeah,
Enemy might
probably.
have been on it.
They were around all the time back in the day.
Sworn
I felt
Enemy
like,
was,
yeah.
They're in UK right now with Anthrax
I saw that.
and Municipal Waste.
Yeah.
That's sick. What a cool
Just
package.
swap out one hardcore band for another hardcore band, and
Well,
but-
I mean, Sworn Enemy got helped out a lot by Hatebreed. in the
oh
beginning.
yeah. And but yeah, that was I caught like some kid was fucking jumping off stage, and you know he put his feet like fucking
Oh yeah,
forward,
right in front.
and I was like, pint right to the face. I think it was the last time I got fucking remotely crowd killed.
and you're like, that didn't feel good.
yeah, I was like,
But
fucking sandals.
I was standing up here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's part of the deal.
I should have moved.
Oh my god, I don't know if you've seen this clip going around. Speaking of getting out of the way, but there's a clip going around at during Norma Jean. Two dudes run off. And this is the main stage at Furnace Fest. Two dudes run off stage from the back. The gap between the stage and the fucking railing
Yeah,
was
the barricades.
much further away this year.
Yeah.
And they had like speakers in between the stage in the photo pit
Yeah.
security
It's
area.
like, gigantic. Right.
So the first guy just is a smaller dude, hauls ass, jumps and lily pads it off of like the speaker into the crowd. And I was like, whew.
Yeah.
That's fucking close, dude, because you could one wrong step
Yeah,
and
and
fucked.
you're a ridiculousness, Scorpion.
And then Scorpion. I'll tell you about that. But then another guy right after that, much bigger dude. He reminded me of Hot Dog Party Carl.
Oh man,
So
he
he
has no business doing anything like that.
this dude fucking like ran, not quick, and he like Valhalla jumped, but he somehow made it.
He made.
And you can find this. Furnace Fest retweeted it, so you can find the video. But it's like the second dude is like you cringe the entire
like,
time
"Oh, this
because
isn't
he
gonna
doesn't
work."
look like he's gonna make it at all. And then someone shared me a video. I can't remember what band it was, but someone replied to that Furnace Fest tweet with someone else trying to attempt a stage dive on the small stage. And I guess he just misplaced the last step, and it was off the stage. And he like took out the security guard, and fucking scorpioned himself on the barrier.
Yep.
Don't win them. You don't win all of them.
No. Yep. You ain't gonna win them all. That's what you win some, lose more. You know.
He,
that's-
he lost a lot right there.
Maybe he'll end up on ridiculousness.
Yeah. Oh,
Then he'll be a winner, right?
But yeah, I mean, it's fucking in that Furnace Fest talk, it's just a cool vibe. You know what I mean? And I think if I can get Lamb Goat more in bed with them, I will.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be silly not to, though.
Yeah, I mean they love it.
they-
They love Lamb Goat because
and-
it's around the same time that they.
And
were
I know
around.
they announced 2023.
Yeah.
They already announced that,
2 days,
which is great.
which is by all means that's all you need,
They only need 2 days.
dude. Because fucking for our, we
And-
don't need to be standing up for 3 days in a row.
And, right. and let's face it, you kind of ran out of bands these last 2 years, right? Like, how many more fucking bands can you add?
I mean, there's a couple. You got to get Botch. You got to get Dillinger Escape Plan. You got to get fucking. There's a lot.
You know, well, look, Hatebreed canceled the first year, so they
Yeah.
weren't. You know, they could add Hatebreed.
Haste the Day.
There's
Andrew
a lot.
WK.
Andrew WK should be on all of them.
ISIS.
Get Turnstile back.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
about
you know, they started opening the gates to other bands like Sunny Day Real Estate and shit like that. So
that. It was definitely a little more of that.
and then,
And some of the scheduling was like strange. A lot more of that stuff later on in the evening. And you have Comeback Kid and Evergreen. Or Evergreen didn't play this year,
Oh,
but like
yeah.
last year they played fucking 1 o'clock, and Comeback Kid plays 3 o'clock. Counterparts play at 2 o'clock. Misery Signals plays at 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like these are like, and Poison the Well played at like 6 or 7. I feel like they could have fucking closed out.
yeah, maybe they're doing the softer shit later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, Sunday night was cool too. American Nightmare played, and they were a highlight for me. Mastodon sounds good all the time.
Mastodon's always fucking good.
Yeah,
God,
so
they just crush.
I watched it from the crowd because sometimes I'm like, I just want to hear it.
Because Mastodon and Spirit Box both played that, but they didn't play with Ghost. Carcass played a show with Ghost, I think, during that. Which I'm a huge Ghost fan.
I know.
I know you're not.
I know.
I love them.
We talk about
I love them.
we talk about not posting certain things about certain bands on the webs on Lamb Goat, and I inherited a list from.
Dude, you should
previous-
love that fucking. He threw out a first pitch at a Major League Baseball game.
Yeah, but
and
in like the
Chicago
weird corpse
White Sox.
paint shit.
It was great.
So fucking weird.
It was great. It wasn't even that bad of a pitch considering. It wasn't good, but
They're
I've seen
European,
worse.
right?
Yeah.
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 So
What the
yeah,
fuck
we
do
gotta
they
give them the
have?
benefit of doubt.
It's just wild that a band like Ghost, like their PR team, whoever got that hooked up.
I get it, dude. And
fucking
like, you know,
props, dude.
I'm gonna
Props.
give you my. We've talked about this off the podcast, but you know, I get that there are certain entry points to music in general,
Mhm.
whether a music genre has like an underground vibe to it. And I mean, like, I tried to like listen to Ghost because like I'd see them all over the place, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this band looks like fucking they're heavy and scary. And then I listened to them, I'm like, that's totally not what I'm thinking. And then I just kind of I hate gimmicks, even though I fucking love Limp Bizkit. And
So Slipknot, you don't like Slipknot? Because Slipknot's fucking good.
I like Slipknot to a certain degree.
Slipknot's first 2 albums, dude.
That's the degree.
I mean, they're Step on Your Neck good, dude.
yeah.
You
After
know?
about Iowa, it gets a little shifty.
And that's very gimmicky.
Oh yeah, but I mean, those again.
And I get not loving gimmicks, but here I am. I love King Diamond. You know,
But I get that though too, and because like I've talked about this
Alice
in
Cooper, dude. Alice Cooper's like,
I've talked about this in length with people because I had this big thing about like integrating more hardcore into Lamb Goat.
yeah,
And you know, I talked about it with a longtime user. I met up at a show one time, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about just bringing more hardcore into it because younger kids listen to hardcore.
Yeah.
That seems to be like a demographic that, and again, we're trying to bring more youth into the
Right.
brand
Right,
because it's already established with people our age. But he was talking about, he's like, metal's way bigger. And then that started getting me to think, and I was like, yeah, you're right, because in the 80s, regardless of what you think about the hair metal bands, that introduced a lot of people to metal.
the hair metal bands were like top 40.
Right.
That was top 40 back then.
But again, like people like you and a lot of people
yeah,
love those bands, and then those bands influence like Kiss, and then those bands influence, or vice versa,
Right,
and then
right.
those bands influence these bands, and these bands. Blah, blah, blah. So now metal is like way more accepted, you know, as the 80s go on, 90s go on, and obviously now. So it's just like, I get that, like, I might listen to some like early fucking King Diamond or early, you know, other metal bands. I'm like, this shit sucks because it's but you're used to
love
the
it.
recording.
well,
the recording
the
of
recordings
that
were
and-
bad, and
yeah.
you know, look, King Diamond took me a second to get into. I always liked his music.
I shouldn't say they suck, but it's not my thing.
It's not right. You're not into it. But you know who is a King Diamond and Ghost fan though? Metallica.
Yeah,
And Metallica is going to do a throwback,
that'd be interesting.
and they're doing a show. They've done it before, but they're playing in Hollywood, Florida, at a 7,000 cap theater. It's I think it's Hard Rock down there, something like that.
Weird.
But and Raven is going to be playing with them. Who Raven is who they toured with for the first time ever. They did the All for One Kill 'Em All tour, and that was Johnny.
It's weird how their trajectories went a different
went
way.
very different, very different.
We're just talking about them playing Jackrabbits, which is like a smaller venue here.
Very small venue. I didn't even know they were playing. But Johnny Z and Marsha Z had a lot to do with them. They both passed away, but they're doing like a tribute show to them, who both, they moved down to Florida. But they were the reason Metallica, even were out.
Yeah,
they're responsible for Metallica getting out there.
Metallica's been in their fields, not in their fields, in their throwback fields though.
They have been,
lately.
So it's cool. It's cool to see. It'll be exciting if I could somehow finagle some tickets for that, because I'll definitely go to that and
the people.
Jump in the fire and shit.
You know the people.
Yeah, I know some people here and there. We'll see what happens.
If I know them, you definitely know them, dude.
But man, they listen to some of the fucking shit off Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All. I'm like,
dude. So did you go to Rockville or any of those Danny Wilmer festivals they played?
No, this year I have not. I had not.
Because they played last year, maybe. I think
it was last year.
Yeah, they played the 2 days.
I did not make it to any.
One day was way better than the other day.
That's what I heard.
The Black Album was not my favorite. But the day where they were just tossing them all, like the Ride the Lightnings and all that shit.
I've seen Metallica a couple times. And
that was my first time.
I've never seen them back in the day.
I
haven't seen them until the new album came out, the latest album, Hardwired, and which I love. I love the album. But I saw them a couple times on that tour. One of them was at the DWP Fest, and man, both times absolutely tore my face off, dude.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, this is not bullshit. Like, this is not like
it's totally. And they complain about not being able to play.
God.
Like they were talking about, like, because James like, I can't play the same anymore. I'm like, fuck, what? Who notices that?
Because I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
because you guys are fucking insane,
mm-hmm.
insane, dude. I had like snake pit tickets, whatever. Like you're in like the front area, whatever, dude. And I'm like, these motherfuckers, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And again, like I saw Kiss this year at Rockville, and I'm not a big Kiss fan either. Again, because it's just like not my time frame. You know what I mean? I grew up listening to metalcore as my intro to metal for the most part, outside of Limp Bizkit and nu metal.
See, Kiss was like definitely like that's when I was growing up. Like everybody dressed like Kiss for Halloween.
Of course,
it was like the
but
norm.
again,
that was the norm.
I watched them. I'm like, I fucking get it. Now I get it. You know what I mean? Like it's something. There's a lot of bands, new and old, that you need to see live.
I agree.
To understand.
To get it, yeah.
And there's such a production with Kiss. I was like, I get it. It's a show. And that's why concerts or even fucking, anyone in metal or whatever, or rock, does like a show is because of Kiss. They had like a production, you know?
Yeah, Kiss led the way for so many. I mean, let's face it.
But again, that Metallica set, the first day was so awesome.
Dude, I love the story of when White Zombie put out they put out like an EP, and it was like a cover of like someone dressed in Gene Simmons paint, and he either did sue them or tried to sue them or some shit. And then White Zombie met Kiss backstage one time and didn't give a fuck about any of that. They were just so like, it's fucking Kiss, holy shit. They try to sue us, but we don't give a fuck. It's Kiss. Mm-hmm. It's such a cool story, dude. Like it's funny, like whenever like that story comes back up around, I'm like, that's such a good story, dude. Like they're like, we don't give a shit about that, dude. We just care about fucking Kisses up here,
Yeah. But he's like, I still want money.
And I think things were a little bit different back then. The whole rock star thing was a major thing. Where nowadays it's kind of like
there's no such thing.
You kind of, I mean, I guess you can, but you still have to be.
Like those guys are rock stars, and they maintain to be rock stars, but there's not a new rock star.
Yeah, you have to be in touch with your fans. You have to be accessible.
Yeah. Where
back then, that was part of the whole thing, was to not be accessible.
Right.
And now, if you're not accessible, you're an asshole.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
With, yeah.
You know? It's kind of funny, like seeing that. It's like, all right, well, but let's get into some new tracks.
I was about to say, is that a good segue to new bands?
Yeah, we're gonna play some new tracks, dude. I got some stacked up here. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and actually play this. That's not a new band, right? This is Sword, not the Sword, but Sword from Canada. These motherfuckers were around like the 80s, right? And they would, I think they probably did tour with Metallica at some point. And they were pretty big, dude. Like they had like a couple of albums, and they weren't big in the U.S. I think they were Canada big, you know?
Yeah, that's not that much. That's not a lot going on, especially fucking 30 years ago. There's not that many people up there.
But, look, they were a fucking good band, and they got new shit coming out. And we're going to go ahead and play them. I'm going to turn this up, and I'm going to hope that we're not going to play a fucking ad. Because, again, I'm not a professional. But we're gonna
YouTube Premium, what is that? No one's paying for any of that.
Fucking Dylan does. Dylan, give me your fucking premium so we don't fucking look like assholes. But I want to try to play this here. Let's see. Can we hear it? Is it coming out? Can you hear it? Oh no, I turned up the wrong one. Here we go.
Bearing the burden of my past,
So metal.
a restituted soul. I am the owner of my words, wearing the wisdom of my acts. I'm on an undisputed road.
So metal.
It definitely sounds like the concept. They didn't deviate much.
I am a loner on my road, with every weakness to defend. I will not prostitute my goal. I am a warrior from the cold, tearing darkness to the
I get
So-
Hammerfall vibes, you know?
Yeah, dude. Like they're precursor of that shit. You know.
Yeah.
I'm sure Hammerfall's probably fans of them.
Oh, for sure.
Did you see that Hammerfall tour that got announced with Halloween?
Mm-mm.
Halloween. and
Is it a
Hammerfall.
U.S. tour?
Yeah, they're going to do U.S. dates. Very limited. There's not a whole lot of them. Halloween's using like all their singers.
Mm.
It's gonna. From what I understand, they're going to do like 3-hour sets or some shit.
I'm
gonna go to that
Halloween.
in,
I think
Tampa.
actually now
love
that I say
Halloween,
it,
dude.
Halloween out loud. Yeah, we definitely posted something about that.
I love that band, dude. I love Halloween, dude. And their latest album was on my top 30 album of the years last year.
Mm.
Like it's just so fucking great, and they have both singers on there. Like,
Bro, how do you fucking gauge in 30 albums for a year?
Dude,
that's putting in work, dude.
I don't know, man. I don't know how they're gonna do it too.
Yeah.
Like that's like a lot of stamina.
I
especially
mean,
the
we've got
vocals
to
and shit,
do
man.
it.
Oof.
Well, we've got to. Oh, I'm talking about like how you gauging, how are you ranking 30 albums a year? Is what I was
Oh
asking.
god, that's it's impossible.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I do it. And then I throw in extra ones, and then Dylan's like, "You can't throw in extra ones." I'm like, "Well, okay,
But I
I'm
did.
not,
I don't
I'm
even,
going to.
dude. I can't even name 30 albums this like
oh
in
god,
a year.
dude, there's so many fucking good albums.
Because there's so
'Cause
much that goes. There's so much that comes through. Like we talked about off beforehand. There's so much shit that comes through that I don't listen to everything in full, and then even then I may listen to it just that one time before we post about it, and then I move on.
So, dude, it's just kind of like a nerd out thing, you know? Is really what it is. There's some shit that I listen to more. There's some shit that hits me instantly. I only listen to it a couple times, but I'm like, oh man, this is it right here.
What do you before you play that? What do you think about the new Behemoth record that just came out?
I haven't listened to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not a Behemoth guy.
I'm not either, but I fucking listened to this one.
I like Behemoth live,
Uh-huh.
and I appreciate Behemoth, and I probably own some Behemoth shit. But they're not like a goat. Like if a new album comes out, I'm not running to listen to it.
Yeah.
But I'll listen to it. I'll check it out.
I'll tell you this: I don't like black metal at all. I'm not. That's not my thing.
I'm very picky with black metal.
I'm very picky in general, I guess, but it's not my thing. But I I sat with that album for a couple spins, so I listened to it like in full a couple times. And I was like, I can fucking, you start remembering parts of songs, and
Yeah.
the next thing you know, it's fucking in your head.
That's when it gets you.
Yeah.
But like they're like a different breed of it too. Like they're not like they're okay with, because a lot of my thing with black metal is like you don't need that shit production. It's okay to not have that. Like it's fucking
It's
2022.
2022, dog.
Come on,
Let's go.
you don't need to sound like you're in a bucket.
Yeah, and that's the worst part about old metal for me, and that and a lot of stuff.
Some of it's because you had to sound like that, and it's
Yeah.
funny because you know that new Summerlands album. I don't know if you listen to Summerlands, but like their new fucking album is
You played it in the
so
car.
good, dude. Yeah.
Right?
I
What
did,
you're talking
yep.
about? Okay.
So Arthur Risk, who does like production on like
Mhm.
everything nowadays, he's in the band. Dude, that album is so fucking good. It's so heavy metal, and they didn't do some shitty fucking production job on it.
Yeah.
Like they were like, no man, we're gonna make it sound good, but it sounds like old school metal,
Mm-hmm.
just with modern production. So it doesn't sound fake or anything like that. It just sounds like, no man, like we're able to produce shit and make it sound
Yeah.
good. It's okay.
And I should probably also
alright to do.
preface like early 2000s metalcore shit that I love sounds like dog shit.
A lot of it does, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm
A
saying?
lot of it does.
So,
But
what
again,
can you do?
even then, dude, even in the early 2000s, it wasn't completely accessible to
Yeah.
have good. Nowadays, you could be in your fucking
Oh, house. Yeah.
your studio,
It's a totally
your
different
house.
time.
I mean, I'm fucking recording this shit, dude. I don't know about any of this shit.
We
Our
both don't
podcast
know.
sounds
Yeah.
decent, you know what I mean? Like at least
Yeah.
from what I've been told,
Yeah.
and I don't know about any of that shit. But there's
No,
here,
I'm glad you finally
you know?
started doing it. I know I was telling you for a little bit you should be doing this shit.
yeah.
Because
yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm doing it, you definitely should be doing
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Dylan, dude, Dylan.
Hats
lit
off,
the,
Dylan.
Lit the torch, right? Is that it? Lit the fire.
Yes.
I don't fucking know. It's one of
Torch
those
is also
old,
not.
those
they're-
old sayings.
Torch is going to be no more either.
Yeah, no, Torch is it. Torch is calling it, and I guess that Torch is going out.
Yep.
Wah,
They
wah,
put a new
wah,
song out. And they're
wah.
like, guess what?
That's kind of
That's
weird
it.
vibe.
Yeah. The song?
No.
Oh.
That they were like,
Moving
all right,
on.
we're done. We're doing this. What Meshuggah tour? It was Meshuggah and Converge or some
Yeah.
shit.
It's
They're
a
like-
big tour, dude.
And I guess that's it, man. I guess you're done after that. You're like, all right, look, we're playing with Sugar and fucking Converge every night.
Yeah, I mean, I met
Let's just hang it up.
I met Bannon in Nashville. You know, I had a little fucking FaceTime situation with him for some Lamb Goat thing, and I was like, "That's it, dude. I'm fucking done."
No,
You know?
dude, those fucking and it's funny. I was they were on an episode or last week's segment of What's in a Box because I got from Gimme Metal. They had a You Fail Me record.
Ooh,
And man,
which
I'm
one?
just like, You Fail Me. It's
no,
it's like,
which like a redo?
yeah. Dude, it's so great. It's so great. I'm like, man.
See, they're a band that recorded like shit, and then they redid
and then
redid their stuff.
and they were like, okay, we can do better now.
Yeah,
and we
'cause-
will do better. And they did.
Yeah, because Kurt is the man. I'm assuming Baloo did a lot of that
But
shit.
there's some bands though, dude, that re-record their shit, and it doesn't do them justice. Like Dokken. Dokken has like some redo shit, and I'm like,
I know another band that you mentioned
Yeah, yeah.
earlier that you don't like their album, and they just redid one.
is it?
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, drop it. Who is it?
I like the band. You just didn't like this album.
Vanity.
Yeah,
I didn't like Vanity.
yeah.
From
I don't
18
like.
Visions.
I don't mind it.
I love 18 Visions, dude, and it's funny because like I feel like I'm the one guy that doesn't like that album.
You're more into the Papa Roach version of 18 Visions.
I love the Papa Roach version of 18 Visions, but I also love the earlier shit, like the
Yeah, yeah.
until the ink.
Oh yeah,
runs
yeah.
dry,
Motionless and
whatever it
White
was.
and all that shit. Or
Oh,
best
this
of.
shit was so fucking gnarly, and then just Vanity just didn't get me, dude. It just didn't grab me. I don't know why.
I saw that tour come to Atlanta, to Orlando.
The latest one,
Yeah, with End and all that
I
stuff.
wanted to go, man. I wanted to see 18 Visions, and I talked to Josh because Josh came through with Stick to Your Guns, and I talked to him a lot about it, and he told me about it.
It's so, you know, I fucking run into him all the time too. He's in like 14 different bands
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. But yeah, and to prep for that, I listened to the re-recorded version. It's a little different. It's a little different. It sounds better.
Is Josh on the re-recorded version?
Yeah, probably.
I'd imagine.
Yeah,
I think he
it's-
writes for like the new and like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
new shit. I love the new shit. Like they released like a 10-inch and an EP or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I don't think they did a whole full album, but they released a couple of different things, and I love it,
I think after Obsession, I kind of started like distancing
Man.
myself.
dude. I love those. I love those albums. Dude.
Again,
I absolutely.
That's
if
a
they
guilty
were-
pleasure album.
If they were to tour on those albums, man, I am there, dude. I might
Yeah.
even put hair gel in my shit and spike
Well, he
it up
played.
and-
They play Tower Snakes, so that's all you
so
really need.
That's so good.
That's all you need.
I absolutely love that the hymn version of 18 Visions.
Yeah,
You know,
that's basically. Yeah, they
I
go all
fucking
over,
love
man.
it, dude. I love it.
You know, I used to
riffs,
hate, I
bro.
used to hate on bands that did that, but then like I started realizing like my favorite bands, like my all time favorite bands that I personally listen to all the time, they do that all the time. Poison Well, Deftones, Glassjaw,
Yeah.
they never make the same record.
No,
Yeah.
they change it up, and I get it. You get bored.
Yeah,
You know?
well, you're also an adult. I mean, you're not an adult. You're a growing human being, and
Right.
your taste changes,
Right,
your
and
interests
a
change.
lot of times bands like that get into it so young.
Yeah, they're 12, they're 16 years old writing
Right.
opposite of
So
December.
so now you're 26 versus 16. That's a huge difference, right? So it's like it's a big difference.
You're also tired of making no money sleeping in a
You
van.
want to make money, and you're hearing hooks now. It's more accessible to you. Your brain doesn't take shit in as easy as it used to when you were a kid and it was molding. You know, because you could hear some fucking absolute noise as a 16, 17-year-old, and you're like, oh man, yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
And you get older, and you're like, the fuck is
I don't got
this?
time for that. I'm going back to
Why
old
is he
Converge.
screaming?
Yeah, yeah.
Why is he doing this?
It's like when you mentioned Full of Hell earlier about some, a woman wanting that shirt. I was, they played Full of Hell played with Converge when I saw them earlier this year.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't seen them live in many years. And they're not a band that I would go, I'm going to listen to some Full of Hell, but fuck, dude, I could have been the appropriate amount of like intoxicated, but they fucking killed.
Oh, they're great live.
Yeah.
They're-
So
they're
live, it
gnarly
was like I
band
was like,
live,
fuck,
for
I get it
sure.
again. You know what I mean?
Sure. They got their hands in the cookie jar in a bunch of different ways, also. So it makes sense that bands make different sounding records. I get that. It's like you kind of get bored of it. Some people call it sellout shit, but I'm like, whatever, man. It's just growth. It's just growth, and you might want to experiment a little bit. And then some are okay with not. Some are okay with just doing the AC/DC shit. Just
Same records every
you
time.
do the same exact shit, just change up the lyrics a little bit.
Dude, the bigger
And,
there's,
and that's
there-
okay.
there's huge metal and metalcore bands that make very big careers, like Lamb of God and Killswitch. They just keep doing the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yep, absolutely, they do, and they crush it. Did you go to that show, by the way?
Yeah.
Is that where you got shirt? Baroness shirt?
No, I bought this actually Rockville,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, I went
A
mainly
cool lineup, great lineup.
what Rockville.
No, Lamb of God,
Oh.
Killswitch, Baroness.
Yeah, Suicide Silence was the weird one. Well, actually, Baroness was the weird one for me because
Baroness is
they don't
definitely the
belong
weird
on
one.
that lineup. But
but it works.
yeah, And it was cool because, like, I was talking to Nick after the show and after his show during, all the other shit. And like some kid just came up to him, like a young kid, and he was like, I wasn't here for you guys, but you guys fucking rock, like blah, blah, blah. So, it's cool that's going on. Yeah.
And there's room for growth.
And they're a great band.
Yeah. They deserve shit like that. And it's smart that they did that, and it's smart that other bands took them and appreciated it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Killswitch is Killswitch.
Killswitch is great, dude.
I prefer Howard Jones Killswitch, though.
I care less either one. Give me either one. I don't give a shit. They're both great. Give me both.
Howard
of them.
made the bangers, dog.
Do both of them. I'm cool with both of them.
Yeah, but Howard and Adam made those bangers.
I'm an OG guy for them. So
hey, I don't mind Lavage's Breathing or
like,
Inverta or whatever.
Like, that's, like if I have to pick an album, it's Alive.
Two different bands.
It's Alive.
Two different bands.
It's not.
It's
the same band, just different singer.
No, dude. The songwriting became so different. Adam, good lord. Dude.
I think they're very interchangeable.
Drop it in the comments if you think that.
You let us know
right.
what you think. I think they're very interchangeable. They're both dope in their own right.
As vocalists,
blood
they
has
are.
been shed.
No. Yeah, as vocalists, they definitely can. They definitely can each hold their own. But bro, End of Heartache and
great
like
stuff.
all those shit. That's totally different than Lavage's Breathing.
Live, dude. I still feel like I can listen to both. Oh yeah, this Killswitch.
Yeah, but we've listened to him for 20-something years.
Yeah. I mean, it was like when I heard Howard Jones sing, I'm like, all right, yeah, that's what I
didn't
thought.
like him at first because I was a Jesse fan, obviously.
I was like, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be. And I was totally happy with that.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you heard Audio Slave for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, yeah, no, this is exactly what it should sound like.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times when you think it's going to sound like something, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Audio Slave is like, oh, yeah, this is exactly what Audio Slave is.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Rage, a little bit of fucking Soundgarden.
Chris Cornell singing. It's there's no surprises.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what you think it's going to be.
What did you think about Prophets of Rage?
It was cool. I dug it.
You don't have to lie, man.
No, yeah. I would say if I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
But I didn't love it. But I liked it.
It wasn't my favorite.
I appreciate it, I understood what they were doing with it,
Is it DMC? Who was this?
It was fucking Chuck D, right?
Yeah.
Chuck D and Be Real from Cypress Hill.
He I made some comment about it on Twitter and he found it.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, well, where'd you learn?
Yeah.
No, man, and maybe it's because I'm a fan of both of them.
I mean, I'm a fan of all those guys too. Separately, all those people separate.
And live, they kill it. And they crush it. And I watched them live I watched them one festival, and I was like, no, man, they were fun. It was a fun
It's like
show.
when I saw Morello at any Morello show or festival.
I'm not a fan of his solo
He just
stuff.
play, but
It's kind of like,
well, it's trap metal. That's why. But
yeah.
but he also plays like Rage songs, and I'm like, dude, what are we doing?
I really wish Rage Against, and I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it a million more. I really wish Rage Against the Machine would have had different openers. Like, bring Run the Jewels. That's cool. I'm down with that. But you could have easily plugged in openers on different shows. Anybody worth the shit. You could have put Zulu.
It didn't have to be anybody.
Could have put Bad Brains.
Yeah.
Like new school, old school, whatever. There's so much you could have done. I don't know. Joey Badass would have been cool on the show.
I mean, I'm not against Run the Jewels. Plus, Zach and them have a history. So
Yeah. No, I'm totally okay with that. But throw in another one underneath.
I'm surprised
As
it's
an
only the
opener.
two.
Yeah, you could easily throw in an opener. Start a little bit earlier. Look, My Chemical Romance did it, bro. They had different openers, different parts of the tour, and it was fucking rad, dude.
Yeah.
Like Soul Glow's opening from My Chemical Romance, Turnstile. Like that is the way
That's
to do
weird.
it.
I mean, Turnstile,
That's
I
the
can
way
see
to do
Turnstile,
it.
but Soul Glow would be a little stretch.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
But for Rage Against the Machine, that's not a stretch.
No.
Soul Glow is a perfect band for them.
They may not know who the fuck that is, though.
Well,
I don't. You ain't telling.
don't forget where you come from, bro.
I get it.
And
that's why
you
you
know
broke
where
your
Zach
leg.
came
That's
from.
why you broke your leg, dog. That's why you had to sit down the entire tour.
hey, but they did have Heat 5-6. They did have Sonny doing
Yeah.
the video, which is sick. That's obviously a throwback to some hardcore.
Yeah.
You know who would have been sick on that? This band right here. This band from Days. This band's called Sector.
From
And
where?
I don't know if you heard Days Records.
Oh.
Days style. I don't know if you heard Sector yet. This shit's hard as fuck. love that shit,
I
dude.
feel like hurting strangers.
I love that shit. Chicago, Chi-Town.
A band we've been posting about a lot recently, who was at Furnace 2, is a kind of a hardcore band. Get the Shot. Are you familiar with that?
I know the name.
They've been around for
I
a
know
couple
the
years.
name.
Yeah.
Get the shot, dude.
It's just funny because every time we fucking post about it post COVID, it's all vaccination.
Oh, yeah, oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Get the shot. I gotta look into that. I definitely know the name.
Yeah, I mean they've been around for maybe almost 10 years.
I definitely know that.
They're a Canadian band from Quebec City though, so they're like fucking way up there in Frenchtown.
Oh, they're just French.
They're not even like North American at that point.
But yo, that Sector band's fucking fire, dude. Days always puts out cool shit. I'm hip to what that label's been doing.
You asked me,
too.
You were asking me about bands earlier on,
Yeah.
and I had been thinking about it. I mean, I knew a couple right off the rip, but I'm sure you brought up the Holy Ghost Tabernacle on this fucking
Oh, yeah,
show.
yeah.
So obviously, like that's a cool new band that I'm big
They're
fans
phenomenal, dude. They're phenomenal.
They're like
And,
a more of a local situation,
they
but
have an album coming out on December 14th or October 14th.
Yeah.
Them and Rhythm and Fear are both
Rhythm
dropping
and Fear,
album.
yeah.
Same day. That's gonna be a good day for albums.
local situations. But through them, I kind of found some other bands too that they kind of either play with or fucking fuck with.
Dude, Nat is a encyclopedia of new music.
Yeah.
It's
The Callous
insanity.
Dow Boys is one of those.
Mhm. Yep, love them. Got them booked in Jacksonville again.
Yes, this month, next month.
October. I forget the date.
I actually ran into Carson at.
Man,
Fucking
they're awesome. Great band. Buddies with their manager Tom turned me on to them a long time ago. Shout out Tom, awesome dude. You probably talked to Tom, I'd imagine.
Probably
He's a great dude. Great dude.
if he's managing people. I'd
Yeah.
definitely talk to him.
But he's been pushing that band, dude, and
Dude, that band is
they've been buzzing, dude. They've been buzzing hard.
that band is like the first big. I think it would be like the new face of like metalcore going forward.
I think so. They're very tech, very spaz and
That's another band that's fucking
Yeah.
super heavy live.
oh yeah,
That you need, like, I mean, you can hear it, and like, obviously, I like that shit because it's, I like their shit because it's like a nod to like early spaz
Yeah.
metalcore type shit, and I love that. But when I saw them live at Archetype a couple weeks ago or a month ago or something like that, it was recent.
it was about a month or two ago.
Yeah, it was like I was like, oh my god, it sounds so
Limbs
fucking Greyhaven.
and Greyhaven, yeah, they were amazing.
Yeah, and again, I felt bad. I felt like a lot more people were there for the Cowboys or the Dow Boys, the Callous Dow Boys.
Callous Dow Boys, and it's funny because I didn't get that reference for a good year or so about knowing the band, maybe more.
Well, I called it the Dallas Cowboys to Carson this past weekend. So
Nice. You can blame it on drinking till 6 a.m.
I was.
That's
I was like, dude, I'm fucking. He's like, one of my band members got knocked out. I'm looking for the medical tent. I was like, I ain't gonna be the one to help you right now.
oof. Just have a drink.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know
fix
if
it.
anyone drinks. So
One of their band members got knocked out.
I think it was one of the females.
It's going hard in the pit.
Yep.
All right. Well, again, should have ducked.
Yeah,
No, I hope they're all okay.
I think so.
But you should have ducked.
Yeah, someone got. It was weird. Twice during the Unearthed set, we had to stop the show, and they had to like help someone out of the pit, and it took an elongated period of time. Norma Jean took like 20 minutes to even like get their 20 more minutes to get their sound issues situated.
Are people into Norma Jean? I feel like a lot of
Big.
people might not really like them.
That's
These
done,
days?
dude.
I don't know.
You talking about that blah 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 blah
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
That's all done.
Yeah. Dude said some weird shit.
Yeah,
He said some weird shit.
I think that's done. But they, I think it was done last year when I saw them at Birmingham, or for the pre-show.
they did. Yeah, they did a pre-show.
But-
Remembering never.
Yeah.
Ironically
And
enough.
Pete has his own
Yeah, yeah.
opinions about
Absolutely.
all
Yep.
that. But
Probably
yeah,
tend to lean to agree with Pete. on
I
that
get
shit.
you. I mean,
That's where I'm at.
I'm in this weird area. Like I'm not like I'm trying not. I don't know.
Hey,
Not with just him. In anybody in general.
right. No judgment.
Yeah.
There's a judgment-free zone here. I didn't go to law school.
It's not like we're talking about
I ain't becoming a judge anytime soon.
trying to kill your wife or anything like that, and then
No,
like
no,
everyone
no,
just being
no.
okay with that.
No, I think just some people just fucking talk sideways a little bit and not realize what they're saying.
Yeah,
And it
some of those
comes
people
off
might
of
be
it.
a little older.
Yeah,
I feel like he's one of those
sometimes
guys.
shit doesn't translate online either.
Yeah,
You know, like sometimes when you say some shit online and you're trying to say something, it's not really hitting the way you want it to, and you're not really coming off exactly how you mean. Sometimes it's hard to put words to, well, not paper, but
yeah.
words to computer.
Your thoughts eloquently online to where
yeah,
everyone can understand
Right.
them.
And and then who knows? Sometimes there's substances when you're doing that also that's involved, and
Ambient.
you're not
Who
really mean to
knows?
be saying what you mean to be saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a wild world out here,
You know,
man.
maybe sometimes you fucking leave your phone open and you have a girl that picks up your phone and sends text that she shouldn't be sending text to. I don't know. That happens too, I guess.
Yeah, that will. Wild shit.
Weird shit.
There is some wild shit going on for sure.
You know what's wild? This new high command. Have you heard it yet?
You played a little bit of it.
Yeah, this band fucking rips, dude.
I don't know prior to that, but you did play a little bit of it.
Oh, dude, they rip. They're a crossover thrash band from up north somewhere. I think they're from Massachusetts, maybe. But
New band?
they're newer, but they've been around for a minute. They put some stuff out on Triple B, and they're on Southern Lord. But they
I
just
think crossover is like the new metalcore.
but better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying one's worse than the other. You know, it's just a different vibe. They
Um,
call it metalcore because it's more metal based and there's like
Yeah,
breakdowns, but like crossover is
Yeah.
more like hardcore with thrash. So
But we're gonna play this high command and see what's up with it. Yeah, let me get this going here. Which is, I feel like I should play this. I gotta let this ride. Yeah. I was gonna drive down, but I gotta let this part ride.
yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that one later.
Yeah, that
on
band's sick,
afterwards.
dude. They got creative kind of vocals too. Band's sick, dude. Band's so sick. They're coming out with a new album. I think November. It said it was coming out. I'm excited. I like what they got going on. The album cover's cool as shit looking. I wonder who did the album art. I have to look it up, but I have to order that. That's gonna be one that I'm sure will pop its head into what's in the box at some point. pop it up.
Do you listen to Chat Pile?
Yeah.
They're like a newer band that I'm
Yep.
into.
Chat Pile is pretty sick, and that's Nat doing from Holy Ghost.
Yep, that's I found it through him.
Yeah,
I think he posted something about it.
They may or may not be on the show here in a couple weeks.
Good.
Maybe. I don't know.
Why do people have to live outside, man?
Maybe. I like surprises. I'm not like the dude like Christmas. Like you get to open one present on Christmas Eve.
You can't just.
And I was like, oh man, I love surprises.
Can't wait.
I know I'm a fan of it. Like I can't wait, but I can wait.
No, I know the
Right.
thing that you have. I mean, you've been doing it so fucking long at this particular point, but like, yeah, you get to know all the stuff before I do because you're dealing with it.
Yeah, sometimes I get a head up. On,
You get
on
it.
the
You
game.
get a head up all the time if it's local here.
Oh yeah, if it's local, yeah.
Yeah.
I try to tell people. I'm like, guys, if you're booking something, just let me know so I can tell you if there's something else going on that day or not.
Yeah.
Not to be a dick, I'm just kind of know.
In the know.
And I want the best for everyone. I think try to be a fair guy. But we're gonna play one more band here.
Go for it.
Let me see. Which band is here? Let's see. Who do we do? We do Sword, Sector High Command. Oh, we're gonna do this band. This is another Flat Spot band, dude. I keep on talking about Flat Spot Records for some reason.
You're trying to get an endorsement.
I guess I'm not meaning to, but it seems that fucking way. But man, this band's sick, dude. This band's not playing that Disturbing the Peace Fest that Flat Spot's putting on, but they should be because they're fucking sick. But this shit's hard, dude. This is the hardcore shit.
Is Trapped Under the Ice on Flat Spot?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, it's just.
At one point, were they or something?
I think they,
Oh, they just needed.
might have put stuff out on Flat Spot.
Okay, just need like a bigger
think.
band, I guess, and they
But
paid
yeah,
the hell out.
and they're from there. But they're all homies, obviously. But this band, dude, Law of Power, California. This song's called "Born into War." That shit's fucking hard. Like that in itself, you kind of.
I was thinking, did you just play that? But we heard this earlier.
Yeah. I played a little earlier, so I'm gonna bump this up and we're gonna listen to this shit, this rough ass shit.
Yeah, the older I get, the more into hardcore I get.
Yeah, that shit, dude. That shit hits, dude.
Yeah.
That shit
I used to
hits
hate,
so hard, dude.
I used to
I
not be
love
a
it.
fan of like the beatdown hardcore back in like the earlier scene days when I was like cut my teeth.
Yeah.
But you know, I also grew up on like Pennywise and punk out in Jack's Beach. You know, that was a big thing.
Yeah,
Then-
that's a big thing in Jacksonville for sure.
You know, I don't know, little local band, Youth on Fire. That was a band that
I
I
remember
was.
Youth on Fire. Yeah.
I used to see them all the time at little gigs in the beach, and
I think they played ODB, Old Dirty Building.
yeah,
That was a thing.
yeah.
God.
Now
Hatebreed was supposed to play there.
we're going way back, but
Their bus broke down beforehand.
bus or van?
Now they had a bus.
Did
But,
then?
I don't think that's really what happened. I think they found out what the place was and was like, oh, we're not fucking playing there.
Yeah.
I think it was One King Down.
Did they play?
I don't think they
None of the
did.
headliners showed up
I
that,
don't-
that show?
Yeah, I don't think they did.
Was it with Youth on Fire?
Youth on Fire, I think, was on it. Maybe.
Boredom.
No,
Boredom and
Boredom
them
wasn't on
played
it.
all the time.
Boredom wasn't on it. Boredom's still doing stuff every
I know,
once in a
dude,
while. Very rare, but
I found some like weird punk blog, you know, where someone just would like post albums,
Oh yeah.
and I found a couple boredom albums on there. 'Cause
Oh,
that stuff's not on like Spotify.
No, that's
or
just
anything.
not readily available. That's crazy.
I just went down this like high school, early freshman year, fucking nostalgic lane.
Yeah, that show was real big in Jacksonville, dude. It was Milk Bar. All the shows. Shout out to the Milk Bar. What a rad spot that was.
Is that the real thing right now?
Yeah. I've been in a lot of shows at Milk Bar. Saw a lot of legendary bands there. It was a great spot.
It's also crazy when you think about Einstein's back in the day. These are
Yeah.
both places I never went to, but
Einstein's I went to a few times. I never saw anything. Saw Royal Trucks there, and then just a bunch of kind of like local stuff.
Fucking
Nothing that
Nirvana
was
played
big.
there, dude.
Yeah, Nirvana played there. Jane's Addiction.
that's like on the beach, so it's
yeah.
so fucking weird. And
Yep.
at that time, who fucking lived in Jack's Beach? You know?
Yeah, no, Einstein's was a place to go, man. I used to go there and get stickers and shit all the time too, and albums and buy CDs.
Was
and,
it a store too?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a venue.
Yep. No, it
was
had
before
a
my
store
time.
attached to it too.
I would hear about I'd hear about it on like Planet Radio or whatever.
It was a little bit. Their heyday was a little bit before me, before I got here, before I got to Jacksonville. So I missed all the good stuff there. You know, Royal Trucks was cool. Royal Trucks had a little bit of hype back then. I think they had roots in Jacksonville. Royal Trucks. They were kind of an indie band, indie stoner rock kind of thing. You
Yeah.
know? But they were pretty cool. But let's do it, man. We're gonna go ahead and press this button here. Let me turn this guy up. Make sure we're here. I'm gonna make sure I hit the right button again. I think this is it. Ready?
Not a fart sound
No, we don't have those.
yet.
But we want to see what this is.
What's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's in
gun.
the fucking box?
Yo, 2 weeks in a row. I got it. All right, I don't have a whole lot to open up this week. But that's all right. And no boxes. It's just packages.
Just packages.
That's good. But one of the packages, I kind of know what it is. It's the new Decibel magazine.
With the Black Dahlia Murder
Black
and the
Dahlia
new
Murder.
lineup on it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How do you feel about
Pretty
that?
Excited. I'm stoked on it.
Yeah?
Because you know, like I kind of have this thing where the band deserves to keep on going, right? They've put so much work into it, and they're not going to do it in a disrespectful manner.
Do you
Zoom Flexi disc.
do you ever listen to those?
I don't listen to Flexis, no. But
You can only listen to these like a handful of times, right? And then they fucking disintegrate.
yeah, I don't think they work very long. I think you get a couple plays on them, but
I think
never
this
listen
is
to
something very cool though that the Decibel does.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
And I
love
like
it.
I like that they still have a magazine. I've honestly thought about if we could do a magazine, not like a weekly or not a monthly,
Not a monthly,
yeah,
but
quarterly
you know,
or something.
quarterly. Yeah,
But then it's like, what do you put in there that you're not putting on the website?
it's all right. You could put both.
I feel the
People
same.
want it,
'cause, like-
especially metalheads.
Well, physical copies. Like
Look,
you have a fucking
yeah.
collection,
and
and
you know, you have CDs, and yeah, look, it's people like us care about this shit. But I mean, this is cool, man. Like it's cool cover to have. You know, these guys.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about Steve Grim from Grim Reaper, R.I.P. Who I was a huge fan of.
yeah.
Some awesome bands that they cover in here. Rip to Shreds, who we've played on here. Ruby the Hatchet, that I love. Great band. There's a really cool ad for Rhythm of Fear's new album coming out in here too. That's cool. But yo, man, you should go ahead and subscribe, man. You learn to
Yeah, what the fuck? This is like so
learn
much
about
more
new-
cheaper in this little. That's why I picked this up. This
Yeah.
flyer is way cheaper. I think it's 6 issues for $30
Yeah,
online.
dude, look at that. The sick ass Monarch Heavy put in ad for a new Rhythm of Fear album coming
Rhythm
out.
of
I love
Fear.
that.
Those boys are doing the things.
They are, man. They are.
Another little local
Cameron.
Jags, or local Jacks.
Jags. Local Jags.
Big
are doing
Jags
things
fan.
too. What's up?
But they do, you know, they probably wear Jags memorabilia and stuff. So
They're not very. They're not football guys.
fucking death metal.
Jay,
nerds.
Jay likes football though. Jay's not like a diehard like we are, but you know, he cares. He's
Metalheads are
Metal
weird. They can be weird sometimes.
very much so. All right, let's see what this is. This is
What do you think about the new Dead Cross? I only ask because it's on here.
oh, this is Dead Cross. The new Dead Cross shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I like it too.
This is actually an unpacking of a trip to Park Avenue Records. Park Avenue CDs in Orlando. Stevie Nicks.
Yeah,
Right?
I saw
I
it.
love Stevie. Right? Stevie, I'm a huge fan.
Is that a solo album?
Yeah, it's one of her solo albums back in the day. It's a great album. I think I already have it, but it was $10, and I'm like, all right, let me. If I don't,
Do you not have Discogs?
I do, but I don't have everything on it.
Oh my god, dude, get with
know.
it. I know you have a lot, way more shit than
got a
I
lot.
do.
I do got a lot, but let's see what else we got here. Oh, dude, you talk about fucking new metal. Machine Head, The Burning
Oh
Red.
yeah.
Some people don't like this album because he does rap on it. I don't give a fuck. I love the
Rob,
Which one am I looking at? I love this fucking album. Rob Flynn, thank you for making this fucking album and everybody involved in it.
you can,
I
you
fucking
can,
love it. Ross
you can
Robinson.
Scatman on that. You can rap on
Dude,
that.
Yeah, right? I don't give a shit, dude. The blood, the sweat, the beers. Come on, that shit's fucking funny when he does that live. Dude, that album fucking rips.
Are you looking forward to their new one?
The new album's great.
Yeah.
It's out. I love it. Oh,
I don't
dude,
fucking know, dude. I know that. I just know they're coming
that
out.
album is going to be in the top 10 for sure.
And yours?
For sure, yeah,
Nice.
for sure. They're doing a small club run too. They're playing
Yeah.
at Orpheum in Tampa. I'll be there. Let's see. Oh, some fire ass metal. Agent Steel. Man, this is a
I've
good
never heard
haul.
of that.
Agent Steel. Oh, dude.
Well, it says 1986 limited edition. That might be why I didn't.
I'm old as shit, and so is this. I've never had this though. Great band.
What's the
Killer
back look
band.
like on that thing?
I mean, look at that.
Oh my
crazy ass
God.
artwork, dude.
This
How-
is what I had to see.
how
The
cool
Goonies. The Goonies are on the back of this.
Man, I love that. I love it. Yeah, let's see if we can show. That's great. That's great.
Fucking Goonies.
Bunch
on
of
the back.
good-looking dudes.
This is what's Radar.
Bunch of good.
This guy looks like Radar, but with like a bullet belt.
Oh, dude, everybody knows. Absolutely love Queensryche. And this is on clear vinyl. It was a UK import for Empire. Not my favorite Queensryche album,
Mm-hmm.
but I love the shit out of this album. Silent Lucidity, everybody knows that song.
If you had to
That song was like
give,
the biggest song on the planet for a minute.
if you had to give someone like, say, me, who I never really listened to Queensryche.
Oh, dude,
Where would
Operation
this-
Mindcrime.
Okay.
You start with Operation Mindcrime, and I'd give you songs off of here for sure. This is a great album. This album definitely went a little bit more mainstream, but Silent Lucidity was like their ballad.
But even then, mainstream
and it
back
was
then is what?
gigantic, dude.
What's
Silent
mainstream
Lucidity,
back
and it's kind of funny because Silent Lucidity was so played it back in the day when I was like coming up that I always said, you know what, I'm never gonna listen to that song again, ever, unless it's live. If live, I'm down, you know. But you know, Queensryche's doing that Judas Priest tour again. I'm sure I'll see a date
Yeah.
or two along the way.
I worked with a dude. His favorite band was Queensryche, and I was like, I just don't get it.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. The vocals.
Well, see, I get that you're into that. You're into like again, I was going to say cheesy
Some
hair
Wasp. Cheesy hair metal. Here you go.
metal.
These
Yeah, and I just
motherfuckers,
looked
dude.
over, and it's dudes in
Yeah.
like streaked wigs and stuff.
You know, some Blackie Lawless, dude.
But again, this is the time, 1984, right? That shit's on the
Yeah.
TV and the radio and shit. Like, you know, that shit doesn't get on the radio now. It's like, no offense to anybody, but like Butt Rock, Benjamin, Breaking Benjamin, and 3 Days Grace type stuff, which is the big festival stuff right now. But
It is. But you know, Wasp fucking plays in Europe and playing for a gazillion people.
yeah, so does Limp Bizkit.
It's wild. It's so wild.
Europe's weird. I've never been.
I've never been.
I've
I've
never
never been. But I know that they love shit that the U.S. doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
love, or once did love and doesn't still love.
Yeah.
I don't know if fads are just different there than they are here.
I think
Not
that
fads
just,
over
I think
there.
if metal's accepted here, it's way fucking more accepted over there.
Oh, dude, they do that fucking the Vakken festival where it's 180,000 people sold out instantly the day
Is that
after
the
they
one?
announce it. Dude, 180,000 people.
Did Armand Amarth play that? Like, it was not recent,
Yeah, and then they literally, it was just recently. It was sold out already.
right?
And they announced the next day, okay, cool, here's the next year's dates. Sold out instantly. 180,000 people.
I think I saw some.
metal.
Yeah, I know.
Extreme metal.
Well, that's what I said. I think I saw the Armand Amarth set. Armand
Oh, they
Amarth,
have legendary sets.
and it
from
was
there.
like sea of people, and they're on
Yep.
like this fucking. They're on the structure up top, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Because they just had a new album come out, so that's why
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know I'm all up to
And
date with
they're
that.
doing, them and Machine Head are doing Europe right now
Mhm.
together.
And Armand's coming here next month.
Yeah,
Not
but
here, but Florida.
Killer tour. It's a very cool tour. Who's Obituaries on it? Cattle Decapitation and Carcass,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Not in that order, obviously.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know the order, but they're all on it.
But dude, appreciate you being on here, man. Appreciate your
It's fun stuff.
your updates from Furnace Fest, your updates from Lamb Goat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, visit Lamb Goat.
I
I promise it's not as horrible as everyone thinks it is.
no man.
You have to click
and,
into the comments
and-
to read them anyway, guys.
And look, here's the thing: leave cooler comments, and filter out the
Yeah.
shitty ones. Right?
Again, like,
We'll
I'm
make
not
it better.
saying-
we'll
yeah.
make it better together.
That's I don't necessarily know if it's better, but I definitely am going to grow it.
I'm going to say better.
Yeah, I'm gonna grow
I'm gonna
it.
say
So if it's gonna have
I
that
could say
stuff,
better.
and we're gonna add good
Yeah,
stuff,
growth is good,
yeah.
I guess, unless it's some weird, strange growth,
I mean,
like
on your-
Basket Gates growths. That didn't work
Yeah.
out. That was bad.
yeah,
So not that kind of growth.
not a growth on your persons, but
That could be bad.
yeah,
that
growth,
Could be,
growth in
that could be lethal.
yeah, in personal. Did you open the other bag? You have another bag.
Oh shit! Oh my god! I was about to sign off. I got
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
What's
I was
this?
like making sure.
Ooh, one. This I have no clue what the fuck this is either. The
I
other ones
think that might be a shirt.
This could be a shirt. It does seem like a shirt.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a CD.
No, it doesn't seem like a CD or cassette. Let's see what this bad boy is. Good call. I'm glad you saw that because I did not.
Well, I remember you had 3 things. So
Oh, it's purple.
scowl shirt.
It looks like a scowl shirt, and I don't. Oh, I know what this is. This is a fucking Zulu shirt left over from what's that fest? Sound and Fury Fest.
Oh my god, yeah.
Right.
Speaking
And
of which,
they
I
put
fucking
this. Oh, dude, what a
that was bonkers.
just
it looked
watching
bonkers.
those sets. Wow, love it. But this shirt, fucking
Yeah.
hey, dude, I
tight.
love this shirt. Like,
Very cartoony. Got a little bit of a Charlie Brown vibe to it, but
yeah,
says
And,
what it needs to say.
And yeah. Oh, hey, fuck the KKK. What's up, Zulu? Holding it down. Love that fucking band. That band's fucking great. I don't know if this is purple. I don't know if I'm gonna look like Grimace in a big purple shirt. I don't know if I'm really shaped like that, but This is worth it.
Yeah.
This is worth it. It's a fucking killer looking shirt. I'm stoked. I forgot I ordered it. Hell yeah. Good call, dude. Look at you.
Got it, dude.
Look at you.
Got
You've
it.
done a podcast a time
I
too.
know.
Look at
I
you.
know a thing or two.
I
Hey,
love
by
it.
the way, I don't know when this comes out, but we haven't done an episode in a year.
A whole year.
Yeah, I haven't done an episode of the Van Flip in a year
Oh shit.
because
Can we get who you gonna debut with?
yeah,
Who you gonna do?
Frontier. Are you familiar with Frontier?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They're fucking hard.
yeah, it's
sick.
Pedram. I think Pedram from Frontier.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then
Good band.
John from Dead to Fall.
Oh, I love that dude.
We've done that.
Shout out to John.
I met him this weekend. I met him in person this
He
weekend.
is.
But,
Dude, he is a sweetheart. Like
he's a
Dead
cool
to Fall
dude.
was like a second home.
Yeah, he was in Spain. He moved to Spain recently,
Yeah.
so he lives there. But we did a pod. We did.
Dude, their
it
new
was
shit is great
Oh,
too,
yeah.
man.
We did an exclusive.
We played a new song
Yeah,
a week or two
Forest
ago.
of
I don't
Pines
remember,
or-
3. Yes. Oh, dude, it's so good.
yeah. We did an exclusive release, not release, but we exclusively premiered one of those 3 tracks, which was cool. That's another thing weird about the whole Lamb Goat thing. Like, I've been listening to some bands for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And here I am now just talking to them on the regular. And it's very strange. Like, Misery Signals is a big band for me.
Right.
I wasn't super into Seven Angels, Seven Plagues, but Misery Signals was the shit.
I definitely like 7 Angels.
Oh, I do too.
For
But
sure.
I love
For
Misery
sure.
Signals too. And then, I had Ryan on the podcast, Ryan from Misery Signals, guitar player. And then I was talking to him about their vinyl, and I was like, dude, I've been searching for a fucking box set, like a Misery Signals box set from forever. And it's all like $400, $500 on
Dude,
wherever.
Haunt's got one. Dylan's got one of those.
Well, fuck him.
He
But
brags about it all the time.
I would too. Jesse hits me up. This was like 2 years ago or something like that. This is like mid-pandemic. And Jesse hits me up on Facebook. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he messaged me. And he's like, I got you. So
Damn.
I'm just waiting for whenever they clear out that locker in L.A. And I told
That's
him,
sick.
I was like, I'll buy it from you. He's like, no, I'm just going to give it to you. And I was like, dude, I'll pay whatever
Yeah,
you
no,
want.
I'll buy it. I have no problem buying it.
But he hit me up to do his Comprehend band. He got his old band back together, and they released some tracks. And we were talking about releasing it, so we put it on our YouTube. And I ran into him this weekend, and just fucking
You're like, don't forget.
yeah, that fucking box
Let me
set,
buy
dude.
it. Well, fucking A, dude. We're going to sign off. Everybody go to Lamb Goat. You know where to go for that.
Lambgoat.com, Lambgoat on Instagram, Lambgoat on Twitter.
Pretty cut and
Lambgoat
dry.
everywhere.
And then MOTBWW everywhere. Gmail. Send us an email,
You never know. It
Instagram.
might be on some fucking weird Lambgoat network soon. I
Dude,
don't know. We'll figure it out.
We got some
lot of
official
talking.
news here, I think. Right there, right?
We got a lot of
leak?
talk. We got a
Official
lot of
leak
talk.
news, possibly.
Yeah.
But appreciate you being on. And Rhythm of Fear did the theme song. The Pit Forge. Dude, the Pit Forge. That dude rules. Daniel at the Pit Forge. He did a logo.
Nice.
I love the logo.
I was wondering where you got that from. When you played the theme song earlier, I was like, definitely those.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
guys
Rhythm of Fear
had to do that.
they definitely did it. And then, Brett, shout out to Brett and Lakos doing the production. Thanks, dude.
And shout out to you for everything you do and having
out to
me
me.
on. You do a lot, man.
I appreciate that.
You do a fucking lot, and
I got
I
a
hope
shout out to the pup too, man, for
Yep.
for just letting me do this and not really trying to
being
kill me.
abrasive. I
is
understand how I had 2
poor
dogs
dude.
at one point,
Yeah.
and having podcasts, I would eventually just have to have the dogs out.
I know I had to put them upstairs today just because it was too much going on.
Yeah, I get you. But yeah,
Well,
man,
we're
we
gonna
got a
keep
lot-
this
we
under
got a
2
lot.
minutes
We got
or
a
2
lot.
hours rather.
We got a lot to do.
God damn,
so
we talked a lot, dude.
it happens.
Talked a lot. We're not done yet either.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, peace out. Positive metal attitude. Go to Lamb Goat. Leave some cool comments. Good ones. Listen to metal. Listen to hardcore.
And
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit.
Oh, fuck yeah.